What's up, guys? Sorry.
Go ahead, Joey. Go ahead. Do it.
No,
introduce me for once. Go ahead. Switch it up.
What up, OGs? This is episode 127. 122. And, of course, I'm here with my best friend, Nicholas Usher.
Man, my brother.
Yes, sir.
I kind of like that.
You know, switching it up this
time. That was good. Off the dome. Dude, let's go and jump into the win of the week. Because I've got a good one this week. Do you want to start us off, though?
Yeah, I'm going to go first. You going to do the thing?
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode one. Sorry, I thought you were controlling now. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 122, win of the week.
All right. So my win of the week this week is actually last night. We had a dinner. You were there. You and your girlfriend came to my girlfriend's house, and we had an amazing steak dinner. I cooked the steaks, best steaks you've probably ever eaten in your life.
Okay, they were good.
And your girlfriend's rice, the fried rice, that shit was amazing.
Dude,
it was like, and just the whole night, it was so much better. It was Friday night. It's so much better than being out of the bars, fucking cruising, walking down the streets. Fuck that.
Dude,
I'd rather be inside eating steak, drinking wine.
Bro, there is a time and a place, right? Mm-hmm. Like, there are times where I love going out. And me and you both went through a phase, too, especially when we were single, where we're like, hey, like, let's go out and rage with the boys.
And we were there every night.
Have a good time. And not every night, but every weekend for sure we would go out. And that was a shortly lived phase, but it was fun when it lasted. And, you know, for a while, like, you know, even me and my girl, there's times where we like going out to dinner and then maybe going like we're having a few drinks somewhere or something and just keeping it mellow. But, dude, I enjoyed last night, brother. Mm-hmm. And my win of the week kind of bounces off that as well, because my win of the week is when your significant others get along.
Oh,
like when you and your best friend have a significant other and they get along really well, bro. Because me and you have both been in relationships before where our girlfriends aren't even really friends like that.
I've had my girlfriends not like you, and I'm like, fuck.
Oh,
dude,
my God.
If that's the case,
dude.
what the fuck?
No, yeah, it puts you in a super awkward situation because you're like, I want to hang out with my boy, but he annoys my fucking girlfriend.
Right.
And so, no, trust
Which
me.
I understand.
No, hey,
I get it.
No, brother. Look, I'm a very outspoken individual, and I'll say how I feel.
And he says anything he wants to say. There's no filter.
And either you love it or you hate it, you know? But no, I think right now it's really fun whenever like your significant others get along really well. Like last night was really fun because me and you were able to kind of go outside. We played Madden for a little bit. We were cooking the steaks.
And that was kind of my plan. Like I wanted us to just get the fuck out. Let them have their time.
Exactly.
Fight if you have to.
No, but I love it because like there was one point where we peeked in the window to see like, hey, are they doing
they're
good?
Hugging.
They're hugging. They're like cooking the fried rice, going crazy. I'm like, this is the life right here. Yeah. This is, brother, we used to dream about times like this, okay?
So, we made it.
No, but it was just fun. Last night was good, bro, especially with it being a Friday night. And you know, like, majority of our friends are out there at the fucking bars and they're just being, you know, just getting reckless.
They got to worry about getting home and shit.
I'll tell you right now, most of them fellas, they probably aren't even awake right now. You know
I was kind of hurting this morning. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm still hurting a little bit. Yeah. So if I'm a little low, that might be it.
Last night was fun. You handled it well. I think everyone had a great time. Nobody got too belligerent. It was just like a chill fucking night, bro. And so, no, I appreciate you for cooking those steaks.
Of course.
Shit was fire.
I do my thing.
Let's actually, speaking of steak, road to 200.
I didn't finish my steak while I was full.
Yeah, you didn't finish your steak.
It's because all the wine. I drank too much wine. I was already
true.
full by the time we didn't eat dinner until like 10:30.
Okay. Shout out also within the win of the week, Morgan's banana bread. Because Morgan did say when we first showed up, Morgan was like, hey, you know, I want Cass to show me a lot of these recipes because, brother, my girl can fucking cook.
She can throw down.
And it is no secret. Everyone that listens to this podcast knows that my girl knows how to fucking cook. And Morgan, bro, with that banana bread,
she can bake.
Fucking went off, bro. Like, that was like some of the best banana bread I've ever had. So shout out Morgan on that, bro, because I mean, like, everything about last night was so much fun.
So good.
It was just so
We
perfect.
got to play Madden.
Bro, we have to do that more often.
Yeah.
Because I don't think me and you ever really like, it's been a while since we've both been cuffed at the same time. And we were like, you know, we wanted to do different things, but sometimes when you first get into a relationship, you kind of just want to spend as much quality time with just that person as possible.
You're building a life.
For sure. Like, I know you're terrible about that. You've always been the type where you get in a relationship.
I'm gone. Brother, see you later.
You know, I'll
see you in a year.
I don't even bother texting your ass sometimes because I'm like, okay, well, it's after work. I know he's at home enjoying time with his girl. And so I try to respect that. But no, dude, last night couldn't have gone any better. Super fun time. So shout out to our girls for making it, you know, an enjoyable moment. But
road to 200, how you doing?
Road 200, bro.
Where you at? Have you weighed yourself?
I have not weighed myself, but I will tell you, I feel bigger.
Well, you sent a video the other day. You always every night I get a video of him drinking this blender of fucking protein, and it takes him about 5 minutes. It's like 30 different Snapchat videos, but he'll always hit like a flex. He's got no shirt. He's checking himself. You look big,
bro. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. I've been extremely consistent since the start of the year. There's been times where like, and usually my happy place is like 2 rest days a week. So like midweek on like a Wednesday, I'll just like focus on eating all day. And then on Saturday or Sunday, you know what I mean? Typically if we're doing the podcast or something, I'll kind of just give the gym a break for the day. But bro, during the week, I'm dialed.
Yeah.
I am fucking dialed.
So like you said, you like your 2 days of rest. I go like 2 weeks of rest, and then I'll go for a week, and then 2 weeks of rest.
But you already had that foundation. Like you were already a lot closer to 200 than I was.
And I've been eating more, so I haven't been working out, but I'm eating more, so I'm gaining weight. It just
No, I'm right there with you, bro. Like I feel like for me, putting on the weight is going to be the hardest part of this entire process. But dude, I mean, I love being in the gym now.
Yeah.
At the end of every single day, it's like that kind of is what I'm looking forward to. You know what I mean? Because I'm a nighttime gym goer. So I'll go like at the very end of the day. And that's like pretty much like the highlight of my day most days.
I will say you're getting to a point where I'm like, damn, I should probably start working out. Like I should get on my shit.
I'm catching your ass, huh? I'm catching your ass, huh?
Because you're a lot taller than me. So once you put on weight, you get heavier quicker.
Oh, no, for sure.
It takes a while for me to put on some weight. You know, I got a little statue.
Yeah, that's
little and wide.
DJ 5'9" right there, brother. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm just kidding. No, you do carry the weight well, though. Like, you hold 200 pounds, like, a lot better than most guys your size, bro.
I ain't never held 200 pounds, so I don't know where you get that from.
You were close, though?
I was 181 at my heaviest.
Damn, I thought you were heavier than that. Okay. So, Road to 200 update. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting there.
I'm putting on some weight, bro. But nonetheless, I'm super excited for today's episode. We had in one of my favorite podcast hosts in the city this week. And so, dude, I'm fucking excited for it. Shout out to him for coming on the show. Shout out to him for all the advice that he ends up giving us throughout the show. We're recording this intro after we've already recorded the episode with him. Absolute legend of a human, bro. I'm super excited to put this one out for the people, man. But this is definitely a legendary collab that we've had to get done recently. Anything else you got before we want to jump into this one?
No, I'm excited. Let's get into it.
I'm excited. All right, this is episode 122. Let's jump right into it.
Let's go.
What up, OGs? Episode 122 going down right now. And of course, I'm here with my brother, Joey Allen.
What's up, brother?
I'm excited for this one, man.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an incredible guest in the building today. He is the creator and host of the RAOP podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the man himself. And
yes, sir.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to make this happen, too. Like, I've seen everything you've been doing with your show, dude, and I got to give you your flowers, bro. Like, you have built that show to – it's now more of, like, it's gotten so far, like, out of the podcast realm. Now you're, like, an actual –
entertainer.
Yeah, like you guys have done so many different things with the show, and I just fucking commend you for it, bro.
Damn, I appreciate that, man, because, you know, even with y'all, I love y'all show, too. You just work. And you don't really notice what's going on. And people got to tell you, like, hey, man, you doing this and that. I'm like,
no, for sure.
I'm just working out here, man.
It's good to hear it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, definitely good to hear it. Yeah.
It's cool for them because they're only seeing, like, the effort you put out.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I know how it is, man. Like, I'm sure, do you edit all your stuff yourself?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's same thing with us, bro. Like, after you've edited an entire episode, it's taken you a couple days and you make the clips for it or whatever, like, you're just exhausted. You're ready to just get this shit out. You know what I mean? And for the other people, it's like, they're just seeing the final, you know, crispiness at the end of it. And so I always like to hear like what's an actual listener thinks about the show. It kind of just lets you know you're on the right path, you know?
Sure.
So how long have you been doing your podcast?
Oh, damn. That's a good question. Actually, 10 years. Yeah.
No way, bro.
Yeah,
See, we just hit the 3-year mark and we feel like we've been doing this shit forever, you know? And you're what, 500 and...
I think, this episode this past week we did 578.
That's insane, bro. And you drop every single week.
Yeah, we drop every week. So we drop one main episode on Thursday, every Thursday, to the people that don't want to pay and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, we got the Patreon and whatnot. So it's like 2 episodes a week. So we drop a Monday episode and a Thursday episode.
Okay, and which one's a Patreon one?
Usually the ones, the Monday ones is the Patreon ones.
Do you do like guests for the Patreon as well, or do you usually
It depends, because sometimes people want to like promote their stuff.
For sure.
And we get like, we got some homies that just say like problematic shit. And they be like, man, just put my shit behind a paywall, because they might say some shit. I ain't saying what homie it was. One homie, he came on the Patreon, He was talking about how he was cheating on his girl. And
Dang. Okay, yeah.
Definitely got to put that behind the paywall.
Put that on the. I was like, I don't think you should be saying that shit at all. But if you want to get your shit off, we put it on the Patreon.
Hey, if the girl's crazy enough, she'll go pay for that Patreon. So it's you never know.
Women crazy, but nobody.
She gonna find out.
That crazy.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's been up a couple months now. And she ain't find out shit.
That's crazy that it'll just air your shit out like that.
Yeah, you just be going. Yeah, she might see this. All the homies, girls gonna watch this.
Yeah. It's like, who's he talking about? They're trying to like take notes throughout the episode.
Hey, you finna get a Patreon boost.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
that was good, bro. We should start saying that we're saying stupid. Hey, everyone, go sign up for the OGSP Patreon.
We said some crazy
We said
shit.
some dumb shit on Patreon. I'll tell you right
I don't want anybody to find out.
No, we actually do stay pretty filtered for the most part. Like when it comes to even, especially the regular episodes, we don't usually get into any of the controversial shit. Yeah. Me and him aren't very political anyway. So it's like for us, it's hard for us to even go into the like politics or anything like that really. So it's like, for the most part, we do keep it pretty clean.
Yeah, I'm not political at all, man, but I feel like everybody got like problematic stance.
For sure.
Yeah. You get your shit off, man, without like being racist and whatnot.
Yeah. For sure.
I feel like everybody got some problematic ways. Like
you can have your opinions, just keep it moral. You know
exactly.
Like be right. Like
And some people just don't have that media training also.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like that plays a role into it too. Like not a lot of people realize like what one clip from a podcast can do, or like what, like you got to really be smart about what you say on certain platforms. We've even had guests on there before where maybe they were a drug dealer beforehand, or maybe they did something and like they're just airing that shit out. You know what I mean? And just like saying exactly how it is. I always want to project something on the podcast or say something on the podcast that I wouldn't be afraid to be out there on the internet 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I'm always trying to think down the road about certain stuff like that. So, you know, I mean, until me and Joey got in like a serious relationship, we wouldn't talk about like
women we would never talk about women on this podcast.
Yeah, clear that up. I thought the way you said it, it's on y'all both got in a relationship.
No,
the way when we got into
when we first started dating, we were never talking about it on the pod. Yeah. We were just keeping it a secret.
Is there ever anything in your podcast? I mean, you've been doing it for 10 years. So is there ever a point where you're like, damn, I shouldn't have said that, or like something you had to delete? Or are you very careful with what you say on the microphones?
Damn, not me personally. Like my co-host, they probably said something like, "Hey man, take that out," or whatever. Usually, if it's on the Patreon, we just like let shit fly.
Right.
But if we have said some shit on like the main episode, we're like, "Hey man, go ahead and take that out." Or, you know, sometimes people get on a podcast, they start drinking and shit.
And
they look at it a little too loose. I'm like, "Hey man, take that out, bro. I said something insane.
Yeah.
Take that out." I ain't gonna front, bro. Sometimes they be on my head because sometimes I might forget. So I get in the habit of when they say something crazy, I'll think about it. I was like, man, you're tripping. I'll like take a picture. You can even see me on video sometimes. I take my phone out and I take a picture of the soundboard or something like that.
Oh yeah, the timestamp.
Yeah, the timestamp it so I can remember. But sometimes my homies done said something insane, and like it'll hit the air. Like I remember one time, one of the co-hosts, they said like a slur and it starts with an F. And I forgot to take it out, and they were like, "Oof!" And it hit the air.
Ooh, yeah, that's tough.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so if we're ever on his podcast and we see him take a picture, just know that shit ain't getting it.
Oh yeah, you're safe.
Yeah.
We've had to do that a couple times too. Like we have, you know, especially when we moved into this place, the lady that we rented from, shout out Monty, she gave us like a whole bottle of 1942. So like a first like couple guests we had were like trying to go through this bottle of 1942, and they definitely, I mean, there's been a couple episodes where they'll let some shit fly where as soon as we finish recording, they're like, hey, we got to chop some of that up.
I think it's sometimes better for them to have a drink though, especially if they're nervous.
For sure.
One little sip and then they're feeling good. They'll talk.
Do you ever? It make for a better show, but since I told you I had stopped drinking, so since I stopped, I kind of like don't be peer pressuring people to drink for real because I wouldn't want nobody to peer pressure me. But it's like, you're right, it do make for a better show sometimes, unless they get a little too drunk.
Right.
I've had people, not necessarily my podcast, like when I produce other people's podcasts, the guests get a little too drunk, and I'm like, relax a little bit.
Chill, like you got to drive out of here. Like you got to go somewhere after this.
It's funny too because you have, like, you've grown all these other podcasts kind of under your network, and I want to jump into that after this. Like, how long have you been doing? So it's been 10 years, 570 something episodes. Have you ever taken a break throughout that time frame? Like, has there been times where you kind of like took a step back, or have you dropped every single week this entire span of time?
All right, so every year around the holidays, we usually like around New Year's.
Yeah.
So like we take the first 3 weeks off. Only time I ever took like a serious break was like when my mom passed away. I took maybe like a month off, probably. But then I just hit the ground running again. So it's like, I haven't took like a crazy break.
For sure. I mean, a month off is nothing. Like
we do that in between seasons.
Yeah. So every 50 episodes, we'll usually take a break. So we've taken like 3 breaks right now. But then whenever we're moving into this studio space, we took probably a good 3 months off. You know what I mean? And we were still like doing things. Like we did a live show. We did a couple of like on the roads, or we would go to like we did some pop-up shows, and then like we were still working even though we didn't have the studio space, but that kind of felt like even a long time. You know what I mean? Like 3 months is
when you get the studio space. I don't know about, it's probably definitely for y'all because I see what's going on. When you get the studio space, you like want to work more.
100%. Yeah.
So
especially when there's a rent involved. You know, you're like I gotta get my money worth out of this shit. Yeah, 100%.
Rent, dude. Yeah, definitely.
Are you full time with the podcast? Is that like
full time? Yeah.
Dude, salute to you, bro.
Yeah, 2 years, man. 2 years.
What made you like take the leap? Like at what point were you like, okay, I need to let go of the full time job and just go all in on this pod?
Oh, I just felt like the job was just like in the way. I felt like I could do more with it, and like we started gaining like a little bit more money. I was like, I'm pretty sure if I like put like my 9 to 5 to the side and just like spend more time with the podcast, then like it'd be better.
For sure.
Yeah.
But that's exactly how we feel sometimes. We're like, because we've you know, we can't say that the idea hasn't come to our mind before about going full-time pod. Yeah. And I know that, I mean, every podcaster that has like a successful show where they're not already like famous beforehand, where they just built the show from the ground up, they're always like, you know, at least get 200 episodes under your belt. You know what I mean? Or like do it for a while, or like once it's like undeniable to where you can make a living off your show, like stick with the full-time job, because then it takes away a lot of the pressure. And so me and Joey have still kind of milked the full-time job thing. You know what I mean? Try to like do both. But if you're being honest, bro, it puts you like, it's such a, like you almost kind of have your hands tied because there's only so much time in the fucking day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it light a fire under your ass for real, because like you got to think about it. So I quit my 9 to 5 like maybe 2 years ago. So you got to think I was 8 years in before I actually was like comfortable enough to like, even though I was kind of procrastinating a little bit, I was like maybe like 6 years in.
Were you scared?
Yeah, scared. That was just about to bring that up. I was scared. I was like 6 years in. I was, should I do it? Should I not? And then like in February, it's funny because I say this, take no offense by this. I said I'm gonna stop working for the white man, and it was February and it was Black History Month. I said this is the perfect time. So February 19th, I was like, man, I'm done. So I stopped working.
Yeah,
I hit my co-host up. I was like, hey man, I just quit my job, man. So let's get it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I got to throw this in there. Hold on. Nick's birthday is Juneteenth, so you're not gonna offend,
brother. Yeah, so I'm not.
You're talking. You're good.
Yeah, you know.
I got dapped.
Hey, birthday Juneteenth, last name Usher, bro. I'm just saying.
Last name Usher too.
Oh,
yeah,
I'm part of the culture. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I don't get offended. You know what I'm saying?
Let me take a picture of the thing.
Oh my gosh, no, dude. But whenever you were going to like first start your show, what was kind of the inspiration behind it? Like, what made you want to even get into podcasting to begin with?
All right, so some of my media inspirations, rest in peace, Combat Jack. He was one of my favorite podcasters. Watching him, Joe Rogan. I know that's a problematic name to bring up now, but I'm sorry.
Oh no, dude, he's a fucking goat when it comes to podcasting.
Everybody give him issues because of what his political views are, but man, fuck that shit. I watched this show heavy. Even when I used to watch Joe Rogan show maybe like 15 years ago, he was like on episode 1,000 like back then.
Yeah.
So like he low-key invented podcasting damn near. So I used to watch Joe Rogan, Combat Jack, Bill Burr had a podcast. And even with, and you can see flashes of it with our podcast, I was inspired heavy by like Howard Stern.
Really?
So like I used to watch that shit. So it was like, I used to watch all that, and that kind of inspired me to do the podcast. So I was like, we hit the ground. When I first started the podcast, it was just me. So I wanted to do it like Joe Rogan style, where it's like just me and a guest.
Yeah.
So I hit my homie up, Biff. He out in New York, and then we used to do like the podcast on Skype. And then my homie Devin came on, and then when he came on, I was like, okay, we could just work with just us, and
for sure
it went on like that.
And so with the Skype thing, I've seen other people do that as well, where they try to do the podcast like over Skype, or now they've got like Riverside and all these different platforms where you can do it better.
And different shit.
Exactly.
All that shit none of that was around.
Yeah, 10 years ago, man. I mean, you're talking about like Joe Rogan, like when you say at that time frame, like 10, 15 years ago, that was like really the only podcast people even knew about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He like really like put the name podcast like to a different level, I feel like. Yeah. You know, I mean,
don't even think they was calling it podcast. I think they were just calling it like an online show.
Yes, it's crazy.
He was doing it, is that shit even around? He was doing it like over Ustream. I don't even know if that's even a thing anymore.
Did you feel like whenever you first started that you got into the game early? Like at that time? Like because there definitely wasn't a lot of podcasts in the city. I know that for sure.
I know the short box was around when I started.
That's right. Yeah. Shout out Botter. Yeah, he had the short box. And he's been doing that for a long time too.
I think the short box was the only one around, I think, at that time in the city.
Yeah, I've definitely, because I mean, nowadays it's like every year you're seeing a bunch of different podcasts blow up in the city. And obviously everyone now is, you know, feels like they should have a show, and you see them all over the place. Yeah. I mean, shit, just your network alone, you've got like 5 shows under you, right?
Yeah.
What made you choose the name RAOP?
I had to think about it. I lost count. I think maybe around 5. I don't know.
But what made you choose the name RAOP?
Okay, so I used to have this blog back in the day. It was called Random Acts of Flyness. So I just did it a play off of that.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That's exactly what we did with the OG Sessions, because we used to have a clothing brand called Off Grid. Everyone always hears the name OG Sessions and they're like,
original gangster.
Yeah, like we're going for like some fucking whatever. But we had Off Grid, and we would just refer to the people that would buy merchandise as an OG, because that was like the acronym for Off Grid. And so like we had the OG logo, and at this time like we knew what OG meant, but we didn't know like the depth of it. You know what I mean? And so then eventually, like once shows started gaining traction, we started realizing like everyone thinks that it's Original Gangster Sessions. Don't get me wrong, it sounds fucking raw. Like I think the name sounds.
It just doesn't fit.
It does not fit us whatsoever. You know what I mean? And so no, I get that. Have you ever felt like you wanted to change the name? Like once you got into it and like got more episodes under your belt, did you feel like, I ever come up with an idea like, this would be a better name for the show?
So that's why we just basically just call it RAOP now, because Random Acts of Podcast is cool, but I just like that way. RAOP sound better. So
for sure, yeah.
We just branded it as that pretty much. But no, I never thought about like changing the name, because basically online people knew me from the Random Acts of Flyness blog or whatever. So I just wanted to like brand it off something that people knew me as. And it's funny, the Random Acts of Flyness shit, I learned a valuable lesson in like trademarks and stuff, because, and y'all can Google it and whatnot, I had my blog for years, Random Acts of Flyness, and then somebody from HBO did a show called Random Acts of Flyness, and I didn't trademark it, so they were able to like take it. And
oh my gosh! See, that's what happened with us with the clothing brand. Yeah. We tried to trademark the name Off Grid, and then it takes it's like a long process, bro. It's like 16 months or something for you to get some shit trademarked,
and it's expensive.
It's expensive as hell. And so at the time, I mean, we
weren't balling.
Oh no! I mean, we had like no money, and so we like pretty much took all the profits we were taking from the brand, we threw it into this trademark. Came back like almost a year later, got denied. And then we went and submitted another one, like thinking if we changed like a couple things around a little bit and tweaked it, and then that got denied as well. So then at that time, like the second time we got denied, I think we had 5 podcast episodes. And so we were kind of at this like stalemate where we're like, okay, do we just rebrand everything? You know what I mean? And like just get away from the OG, don't mention Off Grid anymore, change the name of everything, or do we just run with OG Sessions? And we went and looked on. I was so mind blown that once we like actually started getting into the podcast space, because I didn't look up and see if anyone else had OG Sessions as a podcast name. Like looking back on it, we got really lucky there, because you should always do that. Like any time you start a new podcast or anything, you should make sure that name is actually available. And no one had OG Sessions. I have got no fucking idea how. You know, I just felt like with the versatility and like all the different kinds of podcasts that are out now, like it's so saturated. How the fuck did somebody not have that name?
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up, because there's like so many podcasts out now, and I've been seeing a lot. People just been using it's like 5 podcasts with the same name.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all motherfuckers can't do that. You gotta have like your own name. Yeah. We had somebody that was renting out our space, and they had the same name as somebody, a podcast in Jacksonville. Like, y'all two can't have the same name.
Yeah, exactly.
One of y'all motherfuckers got to change y'all name pretty much. Yeah. He ended up changing the name, but it's like, you got to Google that. You got to look that up.
Well, you also don't want to get like multiple episodes in. So like I know there's definitely been times where me and Joey have thought about changing the name and rebranding everything. That's kind of why we switched to OGSP too, just to kind of like get away from the OG Sessions name. And it's funny, like, I mean, I feel like honestly, you could use the same name, but you just don't hope that you blow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're just doing it for yourself and it's just like a hobby type of thing, then like have whatever name you want. You know what I mean? But eventually you're going to get to a point where you don't want to be blown up at the same time this other podcast is. Yeah. It's like if someone references you, no one's going to ever know if they're talking about your show or this other show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I salute you guys with a lot of the things that you do with your platform as far as like changing it up a little bit, because I see it all the time. We were actually just talking before we got started. We go to a Podcaster United meetup, and it's like all the podcasters in Jacksonville. I'm actually very surprised I have not seen you there yet. But
and I know Botter probably watching. I'm sorry. He asks me every time. It's just bad timing, literally every time.
Well, they do it like middle of the week, so it's tough for us too, bro. Like there's times
we're late every time.
Yeah, we're late every time. We've missed a bunch of them.
Yeah, he probably thinking, man, this motherfucker think he better than me. No, it's just bad timing, man. It's usually like on a Wednesday. I'm probably working out the studio on Wednesday, or like I said, I used to work 9 to 5. Probably was working that day.
Yeah,
man. It's like it's just
tough
I want to go. It looked cool.
It is a really cool experience. I will give them credit. And a lot of those podcasters, though, like you can kind of see the people that just do it for a hobby and the ones that actually like want to make this a full-time career. And
me and Nick come in with all our OG sessions.
Yeah, we've got like all the merch on. Like we've got like, sometimes when we go in there, like people are asking us all these questions as if we're like a fucking giant podcast. I'm like, we're still trying to figure out the kinks just like you guys are. Yeah. And a lot of those people, you can see they keep the same structure every single week. Like one thing that I've noticed is you have to like keep evolving and keep being able to pivot and do things like in the podcast space where you just kind of like spice the show up a little bit more and just change things a little bit and like make it to where it like you keep it interesting for the people that have been watching for a long time. Mm-hmm. Not just that new listener you're going to get that week. And so there's certain shows where we'll go in there and I mean, they're on episode like 200, 300 or whatever and just dropping weekly, just like how we are. But it's the exact same studio space. It's the exact same look, the same style guests, the same segments every single time. And
same list of questions.
Yeah, same list of questions. It's like you almost have to like switch it up a little bit. And that's one thing that you guys have done with RAOP so fucking well, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know like what kind of content you guys are going to be fucking dropping.
Yeah, and that's a playoff RAOP random. So we do keep like a formula of the show, but we try and switch it up. Like last episode, George, rest in peace, George Foreman, man.
That's crazy.
Bro, that episode was so fucking funny.
You hear about Young Scooter? I'm sorry, but Young Scooter.
Oh, rest in peace, Young Scooter.
Man, rest in peace.
That's crazy.
Died yesterday on his birthday.
I don't know how we going to commemorate Young Scooter this week, but George Foreman, we brought a George Foreman grill on the set, and we just started grilling on the set. You guys gotta switch shit up, man.
Yeah, 100%, bro. And that's what we try to do with like the Patreon episodes as well. Is like because for the Patreon we don't have guests; it's just me and Joey, and so. Some people I feel like could sit through 2 hours of me and Joey just talking about bullshit together, but it's always that the Patreon episodes that perform so much better when you do something throughout the episode. So like we'll eat like hot wings, like a hot wings challenge or like
the jelly bean one. That was nasty.
Yeah, we did one where it was like serial killers or we're killing a bowl of cereal. So we just talked about serial killers the whole time and just ate cereal.
That's dope.
And like just throwing like little plays like that into it, like it's so easy just to eat a food while you're recording. You know what I mean? But it kind of just spices it up a little bit. And I think certain podcasters just don't really go for that. You know what I mean? I feel like they don't even think like, hey, how can I switch this up? How can I make it different this week?
Yeah, you just got basically we had like meetings they ain't even like meetings necessarily. Like we just sit down at a conference table and just like chat it up. We just hit the text message and be like, hey, bro, what if we do this? What if we do that? We did an episode a couple weeks ago on the Patreon. Well, not even a couple months ago. We have a homegirl. She does content on our podcast all the time. Alexis Andrews, she's a porn star. So I hit her up. I was like, it's this dude that listens to our podcast, which is crazy. Dude hasn't had sex in 17 years.
Oh, my God.
He watches our show, and he sees Alexis on our show, and he's like, man, hook me up with her. Hook me up. And I know, bro, come on, bro. You don't have no chance with a porn star, bro. You ain't have sex in 17 years.
Yeah.
And no offense, he's homeless also. So it's like.
Come on now.
We're going to get some content out of you. I know I probably might go to hell for that, but I'm like, we're going to get some content out of this man.
No, for sure.
So I hit her up. I was like, hey, man, we got this dude. He ain't had sex in 17 years. He want to talk to you. So I thought maybe we was just going to bring her to the studio and she going to talk to him and whatnot. She was like, nah, we're going to spice this up. She making some crazy money on OnlyFans. I'm going to have to get me an OnlyFans one day. She got 2 cribs. So she got a crib with a hot tub and a pool. She was like, come through the hot tub. She was naked in the hot tub. we put the camera up. We had him chat or whatever. We was like, hey, man, here's your chance. Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
Of course, he was fumbling. He was stuttering his words. So it's like, here's your chance.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like, you got no riz. The fuck? Like, you haven't had sex in 17 years. You didn't even, I mean, you probably didn't even know how to talk to a chick at that point, bro.
So I didn't even clip that. I got to clip that up and put it on IG. But we didn't even clip it up for real, but we kind of like promoted it on the Patreon and we put it like on a more expensive tier.
Yeah.
Man, that shit was going crazy.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah, you got to like, man, you just got to try shit, man. You never know. If you keep doing like the same thing over and over and over, people not going to want to watch you because you're not evolving at all.
For
so
sure.
you just got to try different things. Like,
so we got to find a porn star and a homeless man.
Yeah, hey, we can.
And a pool and a hot tub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I do salute you guys, man.
I was about to say y'all both in serious relationships. So
Yeah, we got to keep
not gonna do that. The ladies know we enjoy
it was a joke.
But I mean, I would like to. It's at some point. I think it would be cool for us to have a porn star or just an adult actress, like even if they just do OnlyFans or whatever, like on the pod. I think that would be super interesting. I salute you guys with how you guys keep your guests versatile too.
Yeah,
like that's one thing that me and Joey have always tried to do with this podcast is keep it like we don't ever want to put ourselves in a box. So there's times like where we'll have like, you know, months where there's a couple, like maybe more clothing brand owners, or we'll have more rappers or like
country singers.
Like we'll go through little spurts where we'll have like back-to-back guests kind of do the same thing. But we try to keep it different. And that's one thing that you guys do with your show so well, man. It's like, obviously like there's certain like groups of people that I know that our audience would like to know more about. Or just hear about, like, the porn star thing for sure. I know there's some fellas watching this fucking podcast where they watch plenty of porn and they want to see us have a porn star on here and just, like, ask. Because, I mean, dude, we don't know anything about that fucking industry. Like, the questions that we would ask would be, like, so ignorant, but they would also be, like, probably some shit people want to know.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
That's our most viewed stuff. Like, people, so we get dudes, they be, like, hating. They be, like, they say some shit like, she's a whore. She got this disease. She got that disease. And I'll be like, hey, man, as long as you comment and give me engagement.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for the engagement.
I'm like, yeah, cool. That made me, I like, literally, this may sound crazy, but I feel like porn stars are the most clean people because they literally got to get tested every week.
They go to a doctor for that shit.
Yeah. The average person not getting tested every week, so they're more clean than you if you think about it.
No, that's facts, yeah.
They just been ran through.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't care how many times you've been clean.
No,
there you go. That's that. I said everybody got a problematic take. So.
There it is.
There it is, brother.
There go yours.
No, there's definitely some, like, I know there's definitely some sports that I would like to interview some guys from. Like, I would love to have a golfer on here. I'd love to have like a NASCAR driver. The UFC one was a big one for us. Like, we've had a couple UFC fighters on here, and I love talking to those guys because there's certain like maybe not just jobs, but like things that people do that I like. Not even envy. I just like think I just want to know so much more about it. You know what I mean? Like the UFC thing, like you won't catch me dead ever doing like a fucking UFC fighter, you know, getting certain guys like that on there. I know that like all the questions are just so genuine. I'm like, hey, like I actually want to know about what you're doing. Whereas if you keep the same style guest for weeks and weeks on end, like some podcasts, you'll see it, they're like, you know, it'll be like, and this isn't even like talking shit on any of these shows, but like they'll just interview like, they'll review books or they'll review like movies or whatever. And it's like, eventually, like you only want to hear from an actor so many times. You know what I mean? Like until you get into like these big name guys that have a lot to talk about or whatever, it's like, you know, this is your 40th episode of you interviewing someone from the movie industry.
Yeah.
And shout out to you. But like for me, I love the versatility of it. Like all the podcasts I listen to, it's like the guests are changing every week. You have no idea who's going to be on the show. It could be fucking anybody. And that's one thing you guys have done with y'all's show really well. How many episodes did you do before you brought on a co-host?
Maybe 4.
Oh, so it was quick. Like
it's pretty quick. Yeah,
I see. Okay,
and when he did it, I didn't really plan on him like staying. It was just like he the
Couldn't
homie.
get rid of him.
Yeah, he was the homie. So it's like, hey man, pull through. We do an episode, and then it just got crazy numbers, and everybody like, nah, you got to keep him on the show. Hey man, 10 years later, he's not on there every week because he got a job and he got to go out of town.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, he's here sporadically, but
Is that Devin?
yeah, Devin.
Okay,
Devin.
and then when did you bring the other guy on?
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
Because now he's in most of your episodes.
Yeah, he's permanent. He's part of the show pretty much. Because he was in North Carolina when I first started, so he would be able to answer it better than me.
It's been a while, though.
Maybe like the 5th year, probably.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
And was it kind of, I don't want to say difficult, because like for me, choosing Joey as my co-host, like I had to beg him to be the fucking co-host, but
I didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it, but once he got in and did like 2 or 3 episodes, he was like, okay, I can get down with this.
I remember at first it was just you.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember.
Yeah, I was just doing solo. Well, I mean, honestly, we only had 2 mics, and the way it was set up, it was just a couch like in my fucking living room, and so it was like, it was kind of set up to just be 2 people. You know what I mean? Like we only had the 2 microphones. We weren't doing any visuals or anything. Were you doing visuals off the jump? Like you would post the Skype things or whatever?
No. I didn't start doing visuals consistently until maybe about the 5th year.
Okay, gotcha.
It was just audio only, and that's funny you bring that up, because like we've been running through an issue with that, because we're visual like for the most part, but like all of our hardcore listeners started off audio only, so a lot of them just like listening to it
on Spotify. Yeah,
says on Spotify. So our Spotify numbers are fucking insane. So it's like I'll be telling people, like, hey, we're doing this on the show. You watch it on YouTube, but they don't go to the YouTube. But it's like, whatever. As long as you listening to the shit.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, watch the YouTube. But our Spotify numbers insane, because they just so used to like 5 years in just watching it. Like, I mean, just listening to it only. So.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing that I've noticed too, is like for me, it all depends on what kind of like podcaster that listener is, like what style they like listening and consuming podcasts in. I know for me, I only consume podcasts via like the audio. Yeah. I almost never watch a podcast on YouTube. I don't know why. I'm always doing something when I'm listening to a podcast, and there's no reason for me to leave my fucking phone open. Or if I'm in the car driving, it's like I'm not going to fucking watch it on YouTube. But that's kind of one thing that we struggled with too when we first hopped over to YouTube. A lot of our listeners didn't jump from Spotify over there with us. Like our Spotify numbers are always better than our YouTube numbers every episode.
That's why I tell a lot of the podcasters in Jacksonville, they've been like, they like focus more on video only, because it's a couple podcasts I work with. They like just only upload on YouTube. I'm like, no, bro, you gotta get on Apple, you gotta get on Spotify, you gotta get on all that shit. Yeah. That's like they just focus more on video. And I'd be like, man, you just alienating a fan base by not consistently dropping audio. You gotta drop that audio too.
And it's so easy. I didn't like when I first started dropping. I remember one of the main reasons I even got started with the podcast was my buddy Jesse Farrell started a podcast, and he was recording episodes out of his car, audio only. And like I remember I was a guest on his pod one time, and you're just sitting there, not even like with a mic stand, you're literally just holding the microphone in his car, and you guys are just like chatting it up, and you could never tell a difference. Like the audio in a car actually sounds really fucking good, believe it or not. So he was just telling me kind of like his process and how he does everything, and it was so easy. Like I think he was using Anchor or something at the time before they switched the name over, and I mean, dude, it was like you literally just record the audio. He wouldn't even like crisp it up or anything. He would just throw the unedited audio up, right onto the platform, and it would distribute to like 10 different platforms. And so, granted, you weren't getting YouTube, so it's like you should be on YouTube if you are doing the visual thing.
I think they got it more. I mean, they got it now where it's like it won't be your video of you, but they put like the audio to YouTube now.
Oh,
okay,
I've
been podcasting so long. Anchor wasn't even around, so I still use it to this day. We upload the audio on SoundCloud and it distribute up.
Oh, no way! I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, that shit. I don't even. They might like grandfather me in. I don't even think they do it anymore.
That's crazy.
That is sick. So when you first started, like, was your first episode, is it out there on Spotify and Apple and all those places?
All right, so we took our first 200 episodes down.
Damn.
Because we were saying some insane shit.
Yeah.
So, and then we started getting like more people watching. So we took the first 2 episodes down. The first 200 episodes are on Patreon only. So
okay,
that's another initiative to get the people to watch the Patreon. But yeah, for the most part, no. To answer your question.
I've thought about doing that. Like, I've thought about going back. I can't even go back and listen to my first 10 episodes. Yeah, like, they're still out there, but the audio quality is so fucking terrible. Because I just didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? And like, that's what it happens to everybody. Like, when you're just trying to learn a new craft, like, your first couple times doing it are not going to be that good. Mm-hmm. And I think the conversations were genuine. I've always been able to, like, carry a conversation with somebody well. I don't think I had like a lot of the skills, like speech skills that I have now. Like I think I probably said a lot and like a lot and like all these filler words. But, at that time, like I had no idea about audio engineering. I had no idea about how to like make an episode sound good or anything like that. So it was it was kind of funny, like working through that. And like now, if I go back and look at listen to those episodes, I actually did it the other day. I listened to like episode 5 or something, and it was like a guest that we were going to have back on the show. So I wanted to catch up on like what we talked about last time. And I mean, dude, I only made it like 15 minutes in, man. It's just tough, dude. Like it's so hard to go back and listen to those episodes. And I've kind of entertained like taking our first season down, like episode 1 through 50, but I don't know, dude. I just don't want to have like that gap in the numbers. You know what I mean? Like I think on Spotify too, whenever you go to a show, it'll say like the number, like they have like each episode numbered for you, and then like obviously in our episode name, we'll then have episode da 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 da, and then the guest.
Yeah, you gotta try it, man. You might spike some people's curiosity. So with ours, we took the first 200 off, so we do get people that like go through and listen. We're like, damn, why this shit start at 200? Go to the Patreon. They go to the Patreon. And then also when we do a Monday episode, we do Monday and a Thursday episode. So if you look at our Spotify is just like even numbers. So it'll be like 570, 572, 574. Oh. And we're like, we're 571, we're 573. Patreon.
Okay, I see. Yeah. So you count the Patreon episodes as actual episodes as well.
Yeah, but it's an odd number.
Yeah.
So if you look at the Spotify, it's just even numbers. So everybody like, man, what's going on with my feed?
Yeah.
Nah, man, go ahead and hop on that Patreon.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah, you gotta like do everything. Whatever you think is taboo, you gotta do that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta like switch it up pretty much.
So for you, do you charge guests to be on the show?
No.
So it's like invite only, like it's pretty much where
you saw the way I said no.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. So if it's like a artist, so we do get artists sometimes that just want to come on the show. We do like charge them, but like for the most part, I don't charge everybody that come on the show.
For sure.
Yeah, it's like I don't know the proper word. It's just like some people charge, some people don't charge.
For sure. So that's exactly what we do. So once we moved into, our last space, like I kind of incorporated it. It used to be my house. Yeah. And so for the longest time, I would just move. Anytime I move a place, we would move the studio and kind of like redo it and it'd be like, oh, we're getting a new studio. And kind of play into that a little bit. But, once, like, especially the last place I used to live at, my rent was so fucking high. I'm like, I got to do everything I can, especially if I'm incorporating, like, 20 hours a week into editing this fucking podcast and, like, recording it and stuff. I want to be making some money off of it. And so it got to a point to where basically how we did it is if someone reached out to us to be on the show and it wasn't even like we really went by like follower count, but if they weren't like a person with crazy emotion or whatever, but we think it could be a good conversation, like we won't just let anybody pay to be on the show. Yeah. But if we felt like they were a good guest and they really wanted to be on the show, then we would charge them, but it would always be like a super small amount. And if it was someone where we reached out to them and we wanted them to be on the show, then obviously we weren't charging at all. Yeah. And so that was kind of like the structure that we took.
Hey man, I want you on my show. They were like, yes, that'd be $500. That's crazy. Yeah. But some people be moving like that.
No, for sure.
So we do like a Google form and we put it in our link tree. So if you want to be on the show, I usually just send them like the Google Doc, like, hey, fill this out. And at the end, they say, are you comfortable with this price? And yes or no. And man, people in Jacksonville be playing, so they'll hit us up. Be like, man, I really, really want to be on the show. I send them the Google Doc. They fill it out. It says at the bottom, are you comfortable with this price? Yes. So I hit them up and I'll be like, hey, all right, you comfortable with this price? Let's set the interview up. Never reply.
Yeah.
I'm like, you just wasted my time and yours.
No, for sure. Well, a lot of people, I think there is a lot of podcasts that will like not charge. You know what I mean? Like a lot of podcasts, man, especially in the city, like what I've realized is they're not really trying to draw a profit off their show. They're just doing it because it's a hobby and it's fun. Yeah. And so, or maybe they don't pay for a separate studio space or whatever it is. And so they won't charge. You know what I mean? We got asked to be on Judge Foodie. Mm-hmm. And that was a podcast, like the way that it was like all set up and everything, I was like, this dude definitely does this full time. And he would I had a feeling he was going to want us to pay. And it was like kind of like a mutual thing. Like he reached out to us, we were down to do it, and then he didn't make us pay. And I was like, okay, that was pretty fucking dope. Because we try to, whenever we take a break, we try to do like a media run and just go through like just any podcasters. Typically it's the ones we'll meet at like JPU or something like that. Yeah. And we'll be like, hey, like let's do like back and forth. Like you guys get on our show, we'll get on your show, whatever.
I feel like if it's mutual, it shouldn't be paid. Like we like right here.
Yeah.
I'm on y'all show, then y'all eventually gonna be on my show. It's like a even exchange. It work out for both of us.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's like if it's like a podcast on podcast, I don't think nobody should be paying.
Right.
For sure.
But if you if you got like a brand or you're a rapper,
trying to promote,
you're trying to promote your stuff, and you see how many views you can possibly get. It's a part of marketing, so yeah, you got to pay for it.
For sure.
When they go on these big podcasts, they pay for it. Like when they go on the radar, they got to pay for it. So like, yeah, it's a part of marketing. So yeah. Got to put your money where your mouth is, pretty much.
100%. Yeah. And you look at a lot of the bigger shows, man. Like I structured this show off of so many other, like there's basically it's like off of like Bussin' with the Boys and some of the shows that I'm listening to on a daily basis. And it's funny, like those shows, I mean, I know they charge probably like a $2,000, maybe $3,000 price tag for some of these guests to be on their show. And people don't even fucking hesitate. You know what I mean? Like they'll have guests on where I'm like, I've never even heard of this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? There's such a big platform. And you know they're charging them thousands of dollars to be on the show. And so like when I hit somebody and I'm like, hey, yeah, like it's going to be like $100 or $200 or whatever. And it's like the same thing. Like you just get crickets, you know? And I'm like, damn, bro, like that's really not that much when you think about how many views you could possibly be getting. Yeah. Or it's funny too, because like what I've noticed is it's not always about the guest that depends on like how many views you're going to get. And because for the longest time, like when we first started, we just want whatever guest had the most followers on Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, well, like whatever guest has the most like motion on social media or like has the most like fans that follow them. I'm like, okay, this is a guest that we want to have on there more. But sometimes we'd realize is like those people either don't promote the show as heavy as you would want them or expect them to or whatever. And those episodes would sometimes do less than the fucking guy that has a food truck, you know, and only has 200 followers on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And so it's a fucking roll of the dice, bro.
Yeah, because on RAOP, it's kind of different because we was podcasting so long without guests. So it's like we were just podcasting on each other. So we don't really need guests. So it's like if you hit us up and then you don't want to do the show, like, all right, cool. I'll just do, me and Joe would do 4 months of the podcast with just us, and we're gonna go viral just the same. So it's like I don't really care.
For sure.
If you don't want to go through with it, it's like, all right, whatever.
I love how you guys do the AI cover photos too.
Oh yeah.
That shit is funny, bro. Like the what was it? The Mexican Jeezy one or whatever. Like some of those are so funny, bro. I like that you guys do that. I mean, shit, 570 episodes in. We better be doing some AI shit at that point too. I'm surprised you still edit your own shit.
I don't want to, but I do.
Yeah, like
I'm surprised I still edit it too. I want to get an editor, but it's like one of them things where people not gonna want to do it the way you want to do it. Yeah. So it's like
you're a perfectionist.
Yeah, I'm a perfectionist. Cause we had a producer, one of the homies. He actually came down from L.A. He came out here and he lived out here for a couple months, and that was even good. Him like producing, helping me produce.
Yeah,
but he had to leave. But it was like. It does help having a producer and somebody helping you out.
What was he doing as far as like the producing wise? Like was he editing the actual episodes or was he just there?
He was just doing the camera work. So
okay.
Sometimes, yeah, like what y'all doing right now, it's kind of harder to do like because I got to be an on-air talent and then I got to occasionally like, watch the camera like, is this shit still recording?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I watch the damn thing and like I don't want to do that, man. Sometimes I just want to sit back and just like be on because like Joe Budden, for example. Joe Budden got his podcast. He don't got to produce it. He don't got to do no camera work. Yeah. He just sit his ass down. He probably don't even got to do topics. He just sit down and just do his show. And I was like, I want to do that where I don't have to be on air talent. I mean, I could just be on air talent.
Yes. Mm-hmm. See, I've thought about this a lot too because there's a lot of times because I'm not, especially when it comes to the fucking camera, bro, I've got no like cinematography experience. I've got no photography experience. I had to learn. So I had to learn everything off the jump. And so, especially when we started getting into the visual game around episode like 51, bro, if you go back and look at our episodes on YouTube, that shit's in like, it's like less than 1080 HP, bro. It's it looks so fucking, in my opinion, it looks so blurry, looks so corny. But that's because I didn't even know like how to go on your camera and change the fucking settings to 4K. And I know you had to have like some special kind of like SD chip or whatever.
It was like less than 3 months ago he found that shit out.
No, literally, we were sitting there at our old studio and we actually had Aaron Berkshire on. And he's he's a photographer. And he was like, hey, you know, what are you guys using to like make the camera quality? Like, what are you using for your SD card or whatever it was? And he went in there. He's like, yeah, you just have to get a different SD card, and it'll do it in 4K.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd had the wrong camera. I thought that like I had to get a whole new camera setup, whatever. So that's why I was kind of just delaying me, you know, making the quality better. And sure enough, bro, like it was just little things like that where I've like learned, like, okay, you can make it look a little bit crispier, but just like through just doing it so much, you know, I mean, you kind of like have to build those like skills or whatever. And I always remember so it was our first episode when we did 4K. Mm-hmm. You have to switch the I don't know if it's like the frame rate or something like that or whatever on the camera, or else it won't constantly record the whole episode. Like the camera will literally turn off and you have no fucking idea. And so it's like the same thing. Like we're focused on being an on-air talent right now, and we're focused on just keeping the conversation good. And then, you know, we would go look at the camera, and the camera's only been recording for like 30 minutes.
Or you hear like a beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, like we finished like an hour and 30-minute long episode. There was one time we were doing an episode at our first like visual studio. This is like episodes like 50 through 80-ish. And the camera turned off. We had no idea. And so what I had Joey do was this motherfucker cannot draw to save his life. I mean, when it comes to dude,
it wasn't bad,
bro. I mean, I guarantee
you'd be impressed if you saw this shit. No,
I guarantee it is better than this motherfucker right here. And we had him draw the studio. And so from like once the camera turned off, it switched over. We put like a little message on the screen and said, at this point in the episode, the camera died. And then it went back on, and it was Joey's drawing. And so I would just use like the different, like
still clip it.
Like if you would be talking, I would like zoom into the part of the studio where it's like your face and it's just Joey's fucking.
It was pretty good.
It was okay.
That's funny.
And yeah, so like we've kind of like made it work at certain times. But I know how you feel about that, man. Where it's like you don't want to be worried about the camera, and about like does the audio sound good or whatever.
Technology is not perfect. Also, sometimes it'll like last night I was recording somebody's podcast. One of the cameras just like stopped. It's like no reason at all. Like it's like it works, but it just said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna work today." Or 100%. Sometimes soundboard, I'll be cutting it on and like this motherfucker not cutting on, and then like I'll be like, "Bro, what's going on?" And then like I come at like 30 minutes later and it'll cut on.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah,
like what the hell?
And you didn't even change none of the chords or anything. That's happened to us before too. Once we started using the fourth mic, like last week was our first ever episode where we use all 4 microphones. And for some reason we haven't used it. Like that was the first time we'd ever used the fourth mic, and it wasn't pulling up. Like you couldn't hear it in the headphones or whatever. And I was like, what the hell is going on, man? And then kind of tweak a couple things real quick, and you kind of realize like what works and what doesn't. And it's all just trial and tribulation, man.
Yeah, sometimes you'll be recording like, all right, for whatever reason, they just want a static today.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Why? And then the next day it'll stop, and it'll never do it again. And we're like, I had a bad day today.
Right. Have you ever had a guest on the show where they are like very soft spoken, where they don't they don't pronunciate words like super crisp and like loud or whatever, and so when you're editing the episode, you're like constantly turning up their volume like throughout the editing process? Or do you? Let me ask you this: whenever you go through and edit the audio, do you edit the audio first and then throw it over the visuals?
Yeah,
okay. See, that's what I should do. Because so do you you take all the levels and put them at the same level, and then I see what you're saying.
You got different settings. Usually I just play out the voice because my voice is low and deep, so it's like sometimes you can't hear everything I'm saying. So I got certain settings for my voice alone. Yeah, because man, I'm not screaming. It's like this is my voice. This is low and deep, so you don't have to listen to this shit. So it's like So on mine, I just like add the sound up a little bit more and like. I just play it by ear. I'll be like, I'll listen to him for a little bit. I'll be like, all right, I need to do this. And like that brings you back to the first point. I don't need to be doing that shit.
Yeah, no,
somebody else need to be doing that. So
I also wouldn't mind having someone that's behind the camera, similar to how Joe Rogan has Jamie, where you can have them look up shit throughout the episode. Like there's so many times whenever me and Joe are trying to think of something and we're like, oh, what's the stat for that? Or like, damn, like I wonder like what is this or what does that mean or whatever. And you have that person available to then go and search shit up. Or if we want to like review clips, like I see you guys will do that all the time where you'll like review certain clips or like a social media thing that's happening. Yeah, and
that's why I have my laptop. And if you notice, I have my laptop in front of me. So I like doing that though.
That's
cool.
We used to do it on our old studio that we were at. We had like a whole desk. So we'd have like the laptop out, pull our phones out or do whatever. But we didn't like the way that looked on camera, where it was like, it almost felt like the laptop was kind of blocking like our bodies a little bit in the shot. And yours is good though, because your coffee table is a little bit farther down. So it's like you can kind of have the laptop there and it not be blocking like a lot of the view. Yeah. But dude, I would love to have someone that's like behind the camera and you can just like ask him to look something up real quick or like, hey, Google this. You know what I mean? That's definitely the goal. And
that's the goal, but it's come with money. Because me personally, I don't want nobody working for me for free.
100%. Yeah.
When when the homie came out from LA, we was handling. We was like anything he needed, we got it for him. So it's like I don't want nobody working for me for free, but it's not in the budget right now. But that's just like one of the goals. Like eventually, like get an employee,
100%,
and to be able to pay him and make. Well, let me not say him. We'll employ a lady also.
I wouldn't mind having like a full team also. Like some of these shows, they've got like Bussin' with the Boys. They've got like the Back of the Bus Boys, and they are like handling all the like back end shit with the podcast. You know what I mean? Like you've got one guy that's only looking at sounds. You got the other guy that's making sure all the cameras are good. You've got another guy that's, and granted, I mean, this is a Barstool podcast. Like they have fucking money, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so they can afford to do all these different things. But one guy, like part of his thing is like, I think one of his segments is like doing something on Twitter. It's like they'll do like tweet of the week or whatever it is. And so he'll sit here and have all these different like tweets that he can go to. Whereas us, I hate when we go on our phone. Like during the episode, like there's certain segments we'll do where we have to check the phone real quick or do whatever. But I I'm just so anal about certain things with the podcast since I'm the one that's editing it. And I'm like, I hate whenever I'm like pulling out my phone or doing something or checking something or even with the laptop where I'm like pause for a second because I'm looking up the Jaguar schedule or some shit. You know what I mean? To talk about.
That's my co-hosts. They hate me for that. They say I'm too strict because sometimes they stop doing it. But before they used to be like on their phone like every 5 minutes. I'm like, hey man, that look bad on camera. Like stop doing that. Yeah. They're like, man, you don't let me have no fun. I'm like, man, get the fuck off your phone. It looks crazy. I'm like, go back and look at yourself on that phone.
It looks like they're not interested at all. Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
If somebody watching it at the crib and they look and they're like, you don't care about the conversation, so I don't care.
They're gonna check their phone, and then
bro. We had a guest that came on, and we never actually posted the episode, but they checked their phone. Probably, it sucks when it's a guest because the guest is like your star of that episode. You know what I mean? And so, if you want anyone to seem like they're interested or whatever throughout the episode, you want your guest to be that person that's like dialed the fuck in. Yeah. Now, if Joey checks his phone once or twice throughout the episode, like I'm not even tripping. He won't even hear me talk about it. But if it's the guest, bro, and we had this one guy come through, and we had to pause the episode probably like close to 10 or 15 times just because it was like he'd sit there and be on his phone and he'd be checking something and respond to a text. Well, the questions come quick. So like a lot of the times if I ask a question, like Joey will ask the one right after, and it'll be sometimes similar, sometimes completely different than what we're talking about.
You don't know what the fuck
He don't even know what the fuck Joey said. So like his response was just kind of like, you could tell he wasn't there, like fully engaged in the conversation. And so I definitely feel you on the phone thing.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, big dog, put that phone down.
Yeah, it's a respect thing too. Yeah. Like it's people's time that you're playing with.
Exactly, man. You gotta think like 2 hours out of your time. You can put your phone away for 2 hours.
Right. No, for sure.
Like it's nothing. Like I got my phone to the side. Like I put it on silent. That's what we do for the most part. Even when you interview like the more professional people. Like y'all interview Chameleon, we interview Chameleon too. Yeah, she gave her phone to her assistant. Yeah, a lot of people they give their phone to their homies or whatever homegirls, because they know that they got to lock in. For
it's professional. It shows a different level.
It definitely shows a different level. That's what I was gonna say. Is it's like funny because we've never had that issue with a big time guest. Yeah, like anytime we've had a guest that's like a very creditable artist or whoever it is, they always take care of the phone. You don't even have to ask. Yeah. But it's always the guest where it's like this is her first podcast, or maybe it was like. You know, sometimes it's funny, too. It's like some of the guys where they're begging us to get them on the show. Mm-hmm. We're, like, kind of hesitant at first. We finally get them on. I'm like, dude, like...
should have listened to our gut.
Yeah, should listen to your gut, man. Like, goodness gracious. Like, some of these guys, it's just... I don't think they understand the respect factor either. Yeah. You know what I mean? A lot of people totally forget about the camera once you start recording. And they're like, oh, okay, it's just audio only. Like, I can be on my phone. It doesn't really matter what everything looks like. But, no, I definitely feel you on that. Who's your favorite guest that you've had on the show?
That's my question.
Damn.
Like out of all, you've done over 570 episodes.
Man, I've been thinking about it for the last 15 minutes, but Nick won't ever shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't shut the fuck up.
Damn, that's a good question, though.
Or who would you have back on there?
Shit, all of them.
True.
My favorite guest was when we did, damn, I don't want to answer that question because I don't want nobody to be mad at me. Yeah. I'll do, like, the favorites.
Yeah, do, like, a top 5.
Yeah, give us, like, top 5, top 3.
All right. So, of course, Los. 89 Los Original. We love when he's on there.
Yes, great dude.
That's just a homie. We went to high school together, so it's like that's just a layup.
His motion is fucking dope, bro. Like everything
he's been killing it too.
Yeah.
He's doing something right now. He won't tell me what it is, but he working on something. We interviewed John Gabbana Boonk. Yeah, that was a real personal
Boonk gang,
one,
bro.
Real vulnerable one.
That was one I was.
His transition in life is insane,
bro. When y'all dropped that episode, I was like mind blown that you even got him. Like, because I saw him at a UFC fight. It was probably like a year ago, or no, not UFC. It was like a combat night event, and I just like ran into him and I was like, "Yo, like, what can I do to get you on our fucking podcast, bro? Like, you got some fucking motion." And then it was like a month later, like you guys dropped an episode with him, and that episode was like, there's a lot of substance in there, bro. You know what I mean? And I know that he doesn't like talking about his past or anything, like, a lot anymore.
Yeah.
But you guys did a great job of just like keeping it professional, but also like letting the audience kind of like know a little bit about this guy.
Yeah. Because usually we like to play around a lot. That was just like a real serious, vulnerable conversation. My co-host, I told him like, "Hey man, you should read the room, brother." He tried to bring up like his old skits. I'm like, man, don't bring that up, man. He don't want to talk about his past. So it's like, yeah, don't bring that up. But Boonk, he was kind of respectful. He was just like, let's not dwell on that. Let's just worry about what we got going on now. So that was good. Our fans loved that one. We did Pop It on Randy. That was a good one.
I'm trying to think. You guys have had, obviously, Chameleon's episode performed really well. Did you guys have Alexa on there? Alexa Sophia?
No.
Okay, she was. I thought I'd seen her on y'all's podcast, but you guys have had a lot of guests where, like, mutual friends or whoever it is, or like people. It's funny too because like a lot of the guests, like we've had certain guests on that you guys haven't had on, but you guys have had a lot of them too that have like either been on our radar and we've wanted to get on, but we don't know if they're like a good podcaster, or like what we were talking about earlier, like the media training thing. Yeah. And then I can just go and listen to your episode with them. And I'm like, oh, damn, like, this dude would actually be a great guest. You know what I mean? You don't know until you see them on somebody else's show.
I'm trying to think of one that just, like, caught me off guard. I can't really think of, man, I just do too many episodes.
For sure.
I apologize.
No,
because I was trying to think, like, which one caught me off guard, but I do so many. Because our listeners just hit us up sometimes, and they just, like, give us quotes on the podcast. Remember when you said this? I'm like, man, I can't remember shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got one of the best memories ever. We just do too much content, so it's like I can't remember shit.
Okay, so who's the number one person you want on there?
Like a dream guest?
Yeah.
Well, a dream guest is somebody that's not even from Jacksonville. I want Martin Lawrence on my podcast.
Oh, my God.
If I get a Martin Lawrence interview, like, I'll probably retire. Like, that's like the dream interview.
Yeah, see, for me, it was Seti. Like, I've always been a big Seti Hendricks fan for a long time, man. And so whenever we had him on the show, I mean, that was like a huge moment for me. I just felt like that was like the only podcast I think I've done where I felt legit starstruck. Oh. You know what I mean? Even though he doesn't have like that much like followers on Instagram, like he's not like a super ultra famous guy. But I've just been listening to his music so long, and I'm just such a fan of him with his craft. Yeah. And so it was like having him on, it was very like, and I was so early in the game, it was like episode 26. It was like, I was extremely nervous to do that episode.
You know who mine is?
Lil Duval.
I want Lil Duval so bad.
Lil Duval be sick.
Lil Duval
that would be a good one. I really enjoyed the like Nod Ross. Like anytime we have the comedians on, because they know it's like they're one of those guys where you just ask them one question and they just run with it.
Yeah.
You know, I think dream guest for me now, I mean, I'd love to have Wheezy on there, bro.
That'd be insane.
That would be fucking insane, bro.
Lil
What's that? Yeah, Lil Wayne.
You'd have to turn his mic up.
For sure.
You gotta put that cup away too.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I think probably Lil Wayne would probably be my top one, just because I mean I've just been a Lil Wayne fan since I was a fucking kid.
Yeah. But locally, you just brought up a good one, Lil Duval. I definitely want to interview Lil Duval. We haven't interviewed Seti. You know what's crazy? Like, I just never really tried to interview Seti, but I feel like that's a layup because we work with DJ Hariana, so it's like just hit him up and he. But 100%. Sometimes I know y'all probably run into the situation like, damn, well, I just never thought about that.
Right?
Like,
yeah.
You just be moving around too much. You're like, that's like a layup.
Well, bro, like when you're so locked in and you're just trying to get these episodes out every week, like I'm not focused on booking guests throughout the week. I'm focused on getting that new episode out.
Yeah.
And so that's another area where I would love to have a producer or someone that's editing the show, because then I can be focused on just booking guests. If my only job was to book guests, bro, we'd have fucking Elon Musk on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if I was able to just focus on that, the guest quality would go up so much more.
That's funny you brought that up. We didn't have Elon Musk, but we had somebody that worked at SpaceX on our podcast.
Oh, no way. Yeah. See, that would be fucking tough. Mm-hmm. Or like how Joe Rogan did like the Bob Lazar interview with the guy that worked at Area 51. Dude, I would love to have someone like that on there.
Yeah.
You know, where you can talk a little bit like some alien conspiracy
or like
shit.
Like somebody who's been to war. That'd be crazy.
That would be dope.
Some war stories.
You got to make sure they don't got the PTSD though.
Well, yeah, you clarify that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Get our ass beat in the middle of the
No,
podcast.
that would actually be a really good idea. We should. If there's anyone that's watching this podcast,
like a veteran,
that knows someone that's been to war. Let's talk to them.
And are comfortable with talking about it.
And are comfortable with
we don't need
to
bring up no trauma. We just want to hear the story.
Yeah, we just want to hear about a little death story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many bodies you got?
How many bodies you got is hilarious. No, but then, so you also started RAOP Studios.
Yeah.
So that's like the network for a bunch of shows that you guys have like signed. How does that process work, man? And what kind of made you like want to go into that lane? Was it when you went full time with your podcast and you were like, okay, we're gonna have to make some extra money somehow?
Yeah, definitely. So basically we just did it, and then we had a girl podcast come through. Cause I used to tell Joe all the time, man, if I have a podcast with just girls, I'll turn it up. So we had these two girls that came in and they did their podcast. It didn't really go nowhere, and then I started doing 304 Talk. And that shit blew up. I said, if I get a girl podcast, I'm gonna turn this shit up, and it just blew up. And then I was like, all right, we can do some more with this. So
yeah,
we started like, which is funny. I got the other podcast, Paid in Bays. I got that because I was working with Jade from 304 Talk, and she did their podcast, and then she was kind of wanting me to manage her. I wasn't really fucking with it for real, because she with that crazy lifestyle.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to deal with that shit. So she was like, I want you to manage me, so pull up with me to this podcast. I ain't want to do that shit. And I think I just had quit my job around that time. And I had went with her, and she did the Paid in Bays podcast. And they were like, man, we started talking. Shout out to VNK3. They were like, man, we see the quality on Jay shit, man. We want to fuck with you. So I started fucking with them. They're doing really good right now.
Yeah.
And then it just went from there, and pretty much started working with DJ Hariana.
I want to talk about this, man. The Creeping Through the Streets thing.
Have
you guys been working with him since day one? Like, did he come to you with the idea?
Well, the first time he ever recorded, he was doing it out of somebody else's studio. But then he hit up Joe, and Joe was like, just come through our studio and we're gonna do it. We'll handle everything for you. We don't record it. We got a shout out to his cameraman Ken Boy.
Yeah.
So they just recorded out our studio. They use the cameras and whatnot, and it just blew up from since then.
Dude.
But it's not technically day one, but day one pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, bro, his show, everything that he's done with it, he is the blueprint for the freestyle like platform thing, bro.
Yeah. He the hardest working man in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
his energy is crazy.
Yeah,
too.
nobody in Jacksonville worked harder than DJ Hariana and Ken Boy, his cameraman. Nobody worked harder than him, and you see they got the biggest platform in Jacksonville because they literally work harder than everybody.
Yeah, and it's only been around for it's such a short period of time.
Yeah,
and the dude's had like these names, bro, where you're like, I mean, when he had 1900 Rugrat. Yeah. It's like so cool how he's getting him so early on. Like the dude had just blown up, and he goes and gets on DJ Hariana shit. And then you got Boss Man D-Lo. Yeah. Like that's how I learned about Boss Man D-Lo. I didn't even know who Boss Man D-Lo was until he went on DJ Hariana shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, bro,
I was there for that.
That's crazy, bro.
I literally started listening to Boss Man D-Lo music maybe like a week before that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was coming to Jacksonville. He hit me up. He was like, man, I got Boss Man D-Lo coming through. That's crazy. I had just came from Miami, and I was listening to Boss Man D-Lo that whole way up from Miami up to Jacksonville. I was like, that's crazy. And I think, I want to be honest, I think dude only had like 50K followers.
Yeah, he was small.
And he just literally blew up. And look on his Wikipedia page, they got Creeping Through the Streets on it, contributing to his success.
That's crazy, man. It's cool how it like, DJ Hariana is such a genuine guy as it is. Yeah, and so it's cool that he also was like able to go and like create this platform that is so successful and just kind of bounces off his energy so well. Do you, so like, I'm assuming you have like a whole studio space and then each kind of corner or like room or whatever is a different studio setup, right? Yeah. And then you rent out those spaces to the podcaster and then they pay you for like the editing and the producing and things like that pretty much?
Yeah. Well, we got some people that just use it, just strictly use it. Like on Louis. Yeah. He just does his podcast. I don't do anything with that. He just does it in our studio.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. Only ones that I do like editing on is 304 Talk and Paid and Base. That's the only ones I strictly do editing.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Well, see, it's cool though to have like, that's one thing that I would like to do down the road with our show. I've talked to Joey about this before, is I would like to have like maybe buy like 3 or 4 more rooms in this place that we're at and have multiple like
different
sets and like studio spaces set up within the podcast so that it's like a little community in here. You know what I mean? And so that like, you know, we could have podcasters just walking around this bitch all day kind of doing their thing and like doing their shows. And I don't know, I think the energy of it would be really dope. I think there's tons of opportunity to make some money with it as well. Yeah. So, dude, I salute you. I mean, you've got the fucking formula for that shit.
The coolest shit ever. I want to invest in one of these one day, and I don't think this shit costs that much. In Miami, usually when we go down to Miami, I'm sorry, I forgot the name of the guy's studio. I use it every time we go down there, and literally, it's just like he give you the code, you put the code in, it's like an office space, and then it just got the soundboard like that, and he give you the code to the safe. And you just set everything up, and you just pay him, and you don't see him at all. I've done used his studio like 8 times when I went to Miami.
Really?
Never met this guy a day in my life. We follow each other on social media.
Dude, I need to get this guy's info from you because we've been thinking about doing that. So whenever we went to Nashville and then we went to North Carolina, and we've done like a couple episodes where we go to like an Airbnb. But bro, we're bringing everything. Like we're packing my car up with like the soundboard, the microphones, the headphones, all of our like little props and things to make it look like it's our podcast. And you know, we'll bring flags to hang on the wall and all this shit. And it just adds so much more bullshit to the process. You know what I mean? And so that's actually a genius idea. Then you don't even have to be at the fucking location. You know? And I think just like, it's one of those things, right? Like, you know, me and you have both been doing it, obviously you way more time, but like once you kind of like have mastered a craft or like you feel like you know how to do like all aspects of something, it's like there's so many times, bro, where I'll look at a podcaster that's like getting started in Jacksonville and I'm like, oh, I could blow your shit up in a fucking heartbeat. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, especially if they're a good host and they just don't really know about like editing or like how to clip things up and make them look good. I'm like, oh, brother. I'm like, if only we had like the network, you know what I mean? Like sign them to the network, you know what I mean? Give them a nice little paycheck right up front and then be like, hey, now any royalties you get from this podcast, like we'll get a percentage of it or something.
Definitely out there. That works out. Yeah.
I think that would be like down the road. That's like big time goals. Like once we're at the level that you're at, I would love to have like the OGSP studios or whatever and branch it out like that.
Yeah. One of the main things in Jacksonville, people just need better quality. Like that's just the main thing. In here, it's like a lot of podcasts, but it's just like the quality. And man, you was just talking about AI. One of the things I hate that people are doing now, when they'll record an episode of a podcast, and I fucking hate those AI clip apps.
Oh
like Opus clips. I hate those. Those look terrible. I don't like when podcasters use those.
Well, it doesn't for sure like the crispiness of it. Like it doesn't look like terrible. Sometimes when they're clipping it up, like they start from such a weird part in the clip. Like for me, I always like to start at the beginning of the sentence. Yeah. Or like I'll even think about it when I'm asking questions sometimes where I'm like, hey, who's your favorite guest you've had on or whatever. I would start the clip right there. Yeah. Whereas like the AI like editor, it'll start the clip like 5 words before that. And it's just weird sometimes. It doesn't match up right, especially when it goes to loop over onto itself.
And it's strictly just terrible AI. It's one podcast, I was looking at it. So they had like magazines on their wall. So it's like face detection. So it's like bouncing off the faces on the magazines. And I would look at it, I was like, this don't look bad to you? And you were posting on IG, I was like, shit, whatever worked for you.
Dude, some people just, what I've come to learn is like not everyone is a perfectionist the way that we are with it. You know, it's like, there's been times where, you know, we'll go to these podcaster meetups and people will come up to us and they'll be like, I just love how everything you guys do looks so clean and it all looks the same. And every single clip is like, it matches each other. And I'm like, I'm anal about that. Like
a brand.
Yeah, like that's the fucking branding. Like that's how we want the shit to look. And then you go and look at their page and like what honestly makes me the most like frustrated is whenever they'll just put the audio. Like they'll make a social clip, but it's just the audio. And it's like a picture of them, you know what I mean? Or like a picture of something. And they just have like the audio sound waves like at the bottom of the thing. And you're like, nope. Come on, man. You're doing yourself such a disservice by just at least do like, even with like captions, like the captions app. Like you can even do full AI on there where it'll like generate photos. It'll pop up and all these different things to kind of match whatever you're saying. Yeah. And so it's like there's so many ways to get around it nowadays. You know, I just feel like some people aren't perfectionists like that.
You gotta focus on your brand pretty much. So with ours, even with y'all both got the OG Session t-shirts, got the hats. Yeah. So ours, we don't necessarily wear our merch all the time, but like every episode we make sure we got something Marlins related, because on our logo we got the Marlins. So it's like,
bro, y'all's logo is
so we gotta make sure we have something Marlins related, or pretty much like we gotta have a hat on. Like right now I got the jersey on. So that's our aesthetic. That's what we bring to the table.
Yes, you guys do a great job with your branding, bro. Like, and when you guys were doing merch, I don't know if you're still doing merch right now, but y'all had like the shorts or whatever. Then you had like the RAOP, wasn't like the racing tees or something like that or whatever. Yeah. Bro, that shit is tough.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Like that's one thing we try to work with like a graphic designer whenever we drop our merch and stuff like that. But I mean, dude, sometimes it's like tough to think about like what lane with the merch are you gonna go? Because like we can do like all orange, like different items and stuff like that. But until we had Halja on there, and he just like went crazy on a brand flashy for us. And so we were like able to use a lot of those designs, but you don't want to keep reusing those. You know what I mean? So you got to keep it evolving. And I just remember seeing a lot of the stuff you guys were doing, and I was like, damn, bro, like that is some fucking dope merch. Do you make it yourself, or do you usually go through like a third party like printer or something like that?
So we got a homie, his name Tony. He got his brand. It's called Magnus is Greater. Okay. We just do basically. I just chatted up with him. I got this vision for it, and like we just collab on it sometimes. Or sometimes I'll come up with a design, and then I'll be like, "Can you just do like the what's the shit called, the mock-up? Like, just do the mock-up for me." Because when we did the RAOP Studios with like a Marlin, and it got RAOP Studios on it, and then I just hit him up. I was like, I can't really think of a mock-up right now. Yeah. And he did like a flip of the Bass Pro Shop, which went crazy.
Oh, so, that's dope.
We just play off each other with the merch and pretty different shit.
What's one thing where like you haven't really broken into that lane yet, but it's like something you would love to do with your podcast?
You was mentioning a couple minutes ago, you was talking about the UFC.
Yeah.
Definitely want to start interviewing more UFC people. And we've been putting it into motion because I'm going to Vegas in a couple weeks.
Oh,
and
nice.
I have a homie that he's a cameraman for the UFC. So I'm definitely, when I'm out there, I definitely need to interview some UFC people.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever smoke before you record any of your episodes?
A long time ago.
Yeah. We used to, like, whenever there was a time when we were both smoking pretty heavy. And so it was like, God, dude, we would smoke. Like, you always think in your head, you're like, oh, this ain't going to affect the episode.
It does.
But once we started doing episodes sober again, we were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I like doing the podcast like sober because it's more clear mind and whatnot. Me and my co-host Joe, we got a classic story. It was when he first moved from North Carolina back to Jacksonville. So it was just me and him doing the episode. So we waiting on Devin because Devin said he pulling up. So Joe rolls up and whatnot. So we waiting on Devin. We're like, man, what the fuck is taking Devin so long? It's around like 10 o'clock at 10 p.m. at this point. We're like, man, what the fuck going on? Yeah. So he's like, all right, man, well, let's just smoke. So I don't know what the fuck he had. I think that shit had some crack in it. I don't know what the fuck. It was laced or something. Bruh, no lie, I went to the bathroom. I fell out.
No way.
No.
I fell out. I hit the bathroom.
Off some weed?
Off some weed. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That's why we started branding shit. We start calling the shit the coma pack because like.
Oh no.
Yeah. So bro, I passed out.
Was it like you stood up too fast, passed out, or
might have been? I don't know, bro. I just went to the bathroom. I was gonna put some water on my face.
Oh, you were fucked up.
And I was fucked up, bro.
That's hilarious.
So I wake up, bro, no lie. I wake up. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. We still need to record this podcast. It was when I was doing out the crib.
Yeah.
So I go out in the living room, and Joe is passed out, knocked the fuck out. He got knocked out too, but luckily he was still on the couch. So it's
oh my God. So y'all recorded the episode?
Yes, we recorded the episode at 5 a.m. because we had the Patreon. We just started the Patreon. You know, your first impression, you don't want to be late on shit. I'm like, dude, we got to have this episode up in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we did the episode. Amazing episode.
No way.
Yeah. Did y'all smoke that shit again or no?
No.
No, you can't.
Unless they were trying to go to bed.
Can't be falling out like that.
He did. I stopped. I was like, I ain't smoking with you no more.
Yeah. No, dude, that's funny. I definitely, like, back in the day, I would notice it when me and Joey would smoke before an episode, like, our questions would be so off the wall. You know what I mean? Like, we were definitely not on the same page at any point. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be asking a certain line of questions, you'd be asking a certain line of questions, they would just never crisscross. Yeah. And so it was like, you're kind of just not on the same wavelength a little bit with it. But no, I mean, it's been years since we've recorded an episode high. Like, now we're just very... We like that shit to be crispy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got one episode where I just took some edibles, but I took too many of them, and I literally passed out again. Yeah. But I went to the couch on the side.
I see why you stopped smoking.
Yeah, I just did it too much, and literally I had the topics on my phone, so they were just playing off me, and bro, I passed out. So I went to the side, and Devin and Joe were recording. They don't have no topics because I had them in my phone, and they at the time the Jordan, what's the shit called, Last Dance came out.
Oh yeah.
So they're talking about the Jordan Last Dance. They're literally talking about that shit for 2 hours. They didn't have nothing to talk about.
That's funny. Yeah. It is kind of like, it's funny, like the difference, because whenever me and Joey do a Patreon episode, usually he'll have like one or two things he has to talk about, but I've got like the full list. So if I'm not in the zone, you know what I mean? Like, you can tell, like, we're lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, after that, we start sharing the notes. So
yeah.
Because I used to just keep it in my phone, and they used to just play off me. It worked that way, but I was like, nah, man, we just need to do, like, a shared notes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We just put all the topics in there.
I like that. That's actually a really good idea, because throughout the week, we could be adding things to the notes. Right, where it's like, you know, because there's so many times where I'll think of something like this would be a great thing to talk about with the pod. Yeah. And then you're just busy doing other shit or whatever. Then you totally forget, record the episode, and then like a couple days later, you're like, "Fuck, we totally forgot to talk about it."
To make it easier, we got a Discord also with our supporters. So a lot of the things that we talk about is already in the Discord. So they already know from going into Discord, like, all right, we're gonna talk about this. The listener questions are right here.
Yeah.
The real niggas of the week, they need their asses. All those is like right there. So they know what's pretty much, so everybody just afloat of what's going on.
For sure.
It makes the show better.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like one of them, that was like one of my Achilles heels. I was like, nah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. No, if you share it with your co-host, it make the show flow better.
100%.
What's going on.
Boys, y'all want to do the new segment?
Let's do it.
On the clock?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 122 on the clock. All right, Amp, so how this goes, brother, is we have 1 minute, and we're going to ask you as many questions as we can in the 1 minute. They're this or that questions. So just answer them truthfully. They're kind of like a rapid-fire style segment. But no, it won't take very long at all. It's going to be quick. Let me know when you got that timer ready, Joey. And you don't got to show it to the camera, because I'm going to throw a timer on the actual edit. Ready?
Bottom up?
Yeah, we're going to go for the bottom up. You ready, Amp?
Ready?
I think so.
Cool.
All right. 1, 2, 3, go.
Legacy or luxury?
Legacy.
Love or loyalty?
Loyalty.
Time or money?
Money.
Solo grind or team effort?
Team effort.
Street smarts or book smarts?
Street smarts.
Take risk or play it safe?
Take risk.
Leader or follower?
Leader.
Work hard or work smart?
Work smart.
Save or spend?
Spend.
Hustle or chill?
Hustle.
Win ugly or lose with style?
Win ugly.
MMA or boxing?
MMA.
Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Strength or speed?
Strength.
Fantasy league or a real game?
Fantasy.
Underdog or favorite?
Underdog.
Playmaker or team player?
Playmaker.
Super Bowl or NBA Finals?
NBA Finals.
Offense or defense?
Offense.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Kendrick or Drake?
Kendrick.
Jay-Z or Nas?
Nas.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Prince.
That's it.
Ooh, that was good too. There we go.
Like yeah.
Which one were you a little bit surprised about?
What was your
Who'd you say
Kendrick or what?
Yeah, Kendrick or Drake. Who'd you go for that? It was Kendrick, right?
Yeah, Kendrick.
I
love both of them though.
Yeah, I fuck with both of them.
Kendrick's a goat though.
I'm more of a Drake. I'm leaning more towards Drake. But
I listen to both of them equally. A lot of people just get mad at me on the podcast because like one week I praise Drake and then one week I praise Kendrick. They're like, man, you backslide. I'm like, man, I listen to both of them.
Yeah.
You like old Drake or new Drake?
Soft
Drake or rapping Drake?
I like R&B Drake.
Yeah.
That's what me and my co-host argue about a lot. Because he hates singing Drake. I love singing Drake.
Same.
I like singing Drake more than rapping Drake. So it's like I like all that. But I'd say I'm more of a Kendrick fan because I've seen Kendrick more live. I've never seen Drake live before.
Okay,
I've seen Kendrick live like maybe 8 times in my life.
Damn.
And Kendrick's lyrics are just crazy.
The first time I seen Kendrick, nobody know this about me from the podcast. I used to do shows at South by Southwest. Like book shows and whatnot.
No way. Okay.
So back in the day, we did a show out there, and we collabed with somebody, and Kendrick did the show. Bro, it was only like 30 people in there.
Really?
That's insane.
Yeah. So
was this really early in Kendrick's career?
Yeah, this was like 2012 probably.
Oh my God, bro.
Okay, Kendrick or J. Cole?
I don't like J. Cole. So
really? Okay.
I'm not really.
I'm not a huge Cole fan either.
So seeing Kendrick shit is like dear to my heart because like, bro, literally he was performing in front of 30 people at South by Southwest, and he's about to do a stadium tour. So it's like, and he just did a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was gonna say he just did the fucking Super Bowl, like the biggest platform you could ever do, bro. Like, it's fucking crazy. What do you think is like your number one way to make money with your podcast? Like, has there been something Patreon? Yeah, see, that's what I feel like that's probably our number one too. Mm-hmm. It's like, I mean, dude, it's just such a cheat code. Yeah. It's like starting a fucking gym, bro. People sign up for a monthly membership, and then most people, like, they don't even use the benefits for it. They just forget to fucking cancel.
With the podcast game, it's so many ways to make money with the podcast. So everybody thinks you got to be, like, popular as hell to make money in podcasting. Everybody think you got to be a Joe Budden or somebody.
Yeah.
It's many ways. Like, a lot of people sleep on Facebook.
Really?
Facebook pays well.
See, I did not know that. We don't even have a Facebook. For our podcast.
Get a Facebook, man.
Bro, we are tripping. Okay, so for like an actual like business page or
business page. Yeah, get
really
turn into a content creator page. Yeah.
God, I've never thought about that.
You post reels on there all the time?
Hell yeah.
You get views on there?
Hell yeah, we got 140K people.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not Patreon, on our
Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Oh my God, bro, that's fucking nuts. Okay, so that's
people think Facebook because I don't use Facebook other than when I upload shit. My personal Facebook, I don't use Facebook because everybody think, oh, Facebook is an old person app. Facebook's an old person. No, man, it be motherfuckers on Facebook.
I did not. I've never even thought to get on Facebook. Bro.
I get on
that
Facebook.
Is fucking
I ain't gonna
crazy.
lie to you.
I don't use it for personal reasons at all. Like, I haven't been on my Facebook in years.
Now, how y'all don't know about Facebook? I found out a couple weeks ago people still use Snapchat. I seen a dude. He say you make $10,000 a month on Snapchat.
What?
I was confused by that. I didn't know that. Yeah, you can post like shorts and reels on Snapchat.
You got to pay for the premium though, or something like that. No? That's crazy.
Damn, son. Okay, we got to start utilizing.
I think you got to get like maybe like 10K followers.
Yeah.
But the way to do, you know how you watch the YouTube video, like, oh, this shit's easy. I did it overnight. I want to try it.
Yeah, I want to try it too, bro. Yeah. I almost feel like that's another reason why I'd love to have a producer too, bro. Because like posting the clips. Like, whenever you got a clip, like, let's say you're like, okay, I just finished this clip. I'm going to be posting it at, like, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be about an hour before I have, like, some free time again, like, whenever I first start posting clips. Because you post it to Instagram, you want everything to look good. The cover photo, the caption's got to be right. There's so many things you want to tweak and make look perfect. And then you want to go throw it on X, TikTok, you know what I mean? Then we'll throw it on, like, other different platforms where we're like trying to promote just that single clip, bro. But by the time you've got like your fourth platform,
it gets overwhelming.
It does.
Like, I got a timer on my phone pretty much, and sometimes I'll do like scheduled posts, but sometimes you like to sit with the post and like upload it and like do the fair engagement and whatever.
For sure.
But then like you said, by the time you get to like the third one, or sometimes you forget.
Yeah.
It'd be like I usually try and post like 11 a.m. or so. Then you get to like, it's like 1 p.m. You're like, damn, I didn't even post on TikTok and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I just missed the time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. So that's definitely one thing I would love to have a producer for that reason. Didn't you guys do something where you went to like some like porn convention or something?
Yeah,
and like
Exotica, yeah.
How was that, bro?
Oh, that was fun. We never would have thought to go anything like that because hey man, I watch porn, but I ain't trying to go to no fucking porn convention.
Yeah.
So we started interviewing the porn stars and whatnot, and then Exotica hit us up and they were like, y'all want to come through? We give y'all media passes and whatnot. We were like, shit, why not?
Yeah.
I told Joe and he was like, I don't know about this one. So I was like, man, let's go. I was like, you just hold the camera and I'll just do the interview. Just roll with me.
Yeah.
Sadly, the week before we went down there, I had got COVID. So when I had got COVID, I recovered, but my voice was just fucked up. Damn. My voice was crazy, and I could barely hear I like lost my hearing.
Yeah,
you know how COVID was crazy. Man.
Yeah, bro. No, that
I
was
lost my
happening.
hearing. I was like, bro, I can't fucking hear. I could barely hear. Like, I went to the doctor. They were like, yeah, you good, but it's just COVID's just crazy, man.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I can't do it because I can barely hear what's going on.
Yeah.
So he like, fuck, I gotta do it. But if you watch it, man, he just having the time of his life.
Yeah, dude, those clips are incredible.
He grabbing porn stars' asses and shit.
Yeah.
I like, you was scared, but you going crazy. This so he killed it. Kind of like it brought him out his shell also because he was kind of like nervous on the whole podcasting thing, but that like brought him out of his shell. That made him I feel like that made him a better content creator.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But that was fun, bro. It was a crazy experience. Even if you watch the videos, there's sometimes where like it was this one part where this girl, she was like, how does my ass look? And I think my cue was to bring the camera down to her ass, but I couldn't hear what the fuck was going on, so I missed the cue. But it was still good, though. It was a classic. People bring it up all the time. I think we definitely need to go this year. But I feel like that's like one of our most viewed things we've ever done.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Because that was very engaging, bro. Like how you guys were doing that, and so many people are curious about. Like that's another like example of an industry where not a lot of people know a lot about behind the scenes or whatever about it. So
when we do anything with a porn star, that's like our most viewed things, and that comes from me watching Howard Stern. Howard Stern used to have porn stars on his shit all the time.
Yeah,
and I used to like watching that stuff, and that made me get in that bag because I know a lot of people they're worried about what people think of them, so they watch porn, but they don't want to be out and open with it.
Yeah,
I'm like, fuck it, man. Everybody watch this shit. Well, I think everybody watches.
Yeah, most
people watch it. So I'm like, man, porn stars people too.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
they got cool stories, so it's like get in with it.
It's a dude, you just got to chase the views, right? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's what we're all trying to do, bro. Is just like find the most engaging guest for your audience, you know?
I ain't doing no degrading stuff with no porn star.
Oh, no, yeah.
Like have a porn star spank you or something.
Some
weird shit, but nah.
Maybe on the Patreon. No, what's a piece of advice, man, that you would give to like a younger podcaster or someone that's watching this that like, you know, maybe they just started their show or whatever and they're dreaming about being at the level you're at?
I would say, man, just do it. Just do it. Just be consistent with it. Make sure your quality is good. Quality is definitely a big part of it. Make sure you're interesting. And that's about it, man. It's not much to podcasting. That's one of the things that I feel like people is hesitant on podcasting. They just think it's a lot going on. It's really not, man. It's hard work. But it's simple. It's simple work at the end of the day. So it's like you just got to do it.
Yeah, I think that's a huge one, man, because you get better with every single episode. Mm-hmm. It's like just put out a fucking episode. Yeah. Like don't be so hesitant on trying to like make it perfect and like structure everything and like you want to be, you know, Joe Rogan after your third or fourth episode. Like, bro, put out 50 episodes because I saw a statistic the other day. It was like 99.9% of podcasts don't even make it past episode 20. And it makes sense, you know what I mean? Because so many people want that instant gratification with the podcasting world. Yeah. But it's like, bro, me and Joey, especially Joey, like when we first got him on the pod and it was like, you know,
chill,
brother.
I don't know what the fuck you about to say.
When we first got him on the pod, he was like, he wouldn't even, there'd be like sometimes where he'd be trying to like ask a question and he would like drag it out and just ask it in such a weird way. But now he's so fucking like seasoned. Brother, I mean...
It's because you yap so fucking much, so I have like 30 minutes to think about my next question. So like while the whole time you're just sitting there, blah, 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 I'm like, what's your next favorite guest?
How can I word this perfectly?
I've already gone through it 30 times in my head.
Yeah. No, that's facts.
All that come with time. You just like, it's like riding a bicycle, man. You gotta keep doing the shit. People want to be perfectionists like right off the gate because they watch, which is... It can be motivation. They watch like... And not Joe Rogan, Joe Budden, if you're watching it, I'm not shitting. I'm just using an example because he like one of the biggest podcasts out.
No, for sure, yeah.
People watch shit like that and they just want to be that so much.
Yeah.
So they don't like focus on, you got to figure your shit out. Because I have people that record out our studio and they be like, Joe Budden did this, Joe Budden did that. I'm like, man, no, fuck Joe Budden. It's Joe Budden, once again, I'm sorry. You gotta figure your show out.
Yeah, 100%.
If you doing your shit based off Joe Budden and shit,
people already have Joe Budden.
Like,
they don't need another
Joe Budden.
Yeah.
We don't need another Joe Budden.
Well, also Joe Budden's got fucking 15 people that are putting his show together. You know what I mean? It's
he
like
got a whole team,
a whole like.
He got money.
Yeah.
Before Joe Budden podcast, he was a millionaire already.
Exactly.
This was a hobby to him. It just blew up.
Yeah. There's certain shows I watch too, man, where they'll even like record, like both the guests will be in different locations.
Yeah.
And they'll like crop the screen in half. And it'll be as if me and you were sitting here talking, but really you're in like fucking California and I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
And the way that you can like structure that shit, bro, and make it look like a very high quality show and make it really fucking work.
Yeah.
Like it's sick, bro. Nowadays there's no excuse for your quality not to be at least solid. You know what I mean? With the podcasting thing.
People still figuring out how to fuck that up.
Oh, if they brother, believe it for sure. Like there's still people where they're definitely taking like a shortcut on the quality route.
I don't judge them because I hope they're figuring it out.
No, for sure, yeah. 100%.
That goes to what I was just saying earlier, like it's trial by error. So
yep.
When I see somebody with shitty quality, I don't really judge them off the bat. I be like, they're probably figuring it out. But if you like 300 episodes in and your quality's still shitty,
yeah,
you got like 3 views.
See, that's why when people say consistency, it kind of grinds my gears because you can be consistently bad. Like you can be on episode 300 and you're not doing anything because you suck. Like at some point, if you're not doing it, if you're trying to be more than just a hobby, either change it up or pick a different hobby.
That's just a you issue and not but the person.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I think you have to establish off like at a pretty quick moment with being a podcaster, you got to establish whether or not you're just doing this for your own fun or if you're actually trying to build a business with this because this is a saturated industry, brother.
Hell yeah.
It's so easy to get in and that means everyone and their mother's going to be in it. You know what I mean? And so it's like one of those things where you've got to stand out. You've got to do certain things to like be better. One last question I wanted to ask you before we get out of here is what's one piece of advice that you would give me and Joey for making our show better? I mean, dude, you've been in this game for a fucking while now, bro. And
my only advice I would give y'all is just keep going with it. Like y'all got a good foundation. You're doing good work in the city. I know when people talk about the best podcast in the city, y'all names always come up. It's I ain't gonna say exactly who people break up because it's about us today.
No, yeah,
but
good,
definitely like when people bring up like the big platforms in the city, they bring up RAOP. I bring up Creeping since we fuck with Creeping
for sure.
They bring up Creeping. They bring up Paid and Bays. They bring up OG Session because we one of the few platforms in the city that's like actually good quality
for sure.
So
it's
like
I appreciate that, bro.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, there's nothing. I would not give you. I wouldn't change a damn thing about y'all show. Like the way you guys are doing it, bro.
Post
is
more.
Fucking, no, one thing that I will say that I really like about y'all show is I love your set. I mean, the set is dope. For one, it's super unique. Sometimes I feel like, bro, there's like 20 podcasts out there that have the same fucking panels that are right behind you right now. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things where I'll see with our show where I'm like, damn, like that's a popular way to do a studio setup, you know? I'm glad that not a lot of people, like I know you use the orange in a lot of your stuff, but no person is like all orange everything where it's like that's the whole brand. So I do like that we do that, but you guys even have like the gaming machines behind like the guest spot.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit is tough.
Yeah, that is.
That shit is tough. And I think it's funny too how like, you know, as a listener or a person watching the podcast, they only see this. You know what I mean? And so I can't wait till one day, like I would love to just chop it up at your studio and see what your actual full studio looks like.
Oh, definitely.
Because it looks on camera, it is so fucking crispy. But I'm sure like whenever you're sitting down in the studio and you're looking at everything in the background, you would never expect it to look the way it does.
So yeah, like on the other side, people like when they come into our studio, I be in there every day, so it doesn't wow me. Like as soon as people come in, they're like, man, this shit looks insane. It look crazy. So on the other side, we got like straight up just like movie posters.
Oh, that's
cool. It looks really cool, but it's like I see it every day. I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because that's how my crib was Mark, I'm saying it like I'm homeless or something. So when we had people come through, I had my crib like done up. It's bare bones now. It's like I don't got shit on my walls. Yeah. I used to have the movie posters, all that. The arcades was in my house. I took them out my house and put them in the studio.
That's dope. Yeah, see, the arcade games, it's something that nobody else is doing. Yeah. And I love how you guys will even have the game on behind the guest. So it like just adds like a little visual.
Dude. Yeah, I had all that in my crib. So I had like my whole crib was damn near a man cave. Yeah. So I just took it out and just put it in the studio pretty much.
What's your like one like kind of thing you do to like outside of the podcasting world? Like what is your like other passion or like something that kind of like, you know, a little self-care for yourself whenever you're not doing the pod?
You like fishing?
No. I used to fish when I was younger, but damn, I might need some hobbies now that I think about it.
Do you sports bet?
Hell no, man. I used to do bet on baseball a lot. I might actually start since baseball back.
Yeah.
I used to just do baseball. I don't mess with basketball. Basketball's too iffy.
Yeah.
But I used to sports bet heavy with baseball. I stopped. But I might start back.
You should. I mean, it's opening day a couple of days ago, so boys back, baseball's back.
But you can bet in Florida back again now. So when I used to bet before, you could bet in Florida, but then they stopped it.
Yeah.
Then I just stopped. But now you could bet again. So it's like I might start back.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten into it a little bit, especially when football season's around, bro. Like I love watching football, so I'll bet a little bit on football. But
see, I got a little too addicted. I started betting on like golf and shit.
Yeah, no, yeah. See, that's when you ping pong. I was gonna say I betted ping pong a couple times, and once your first one hits, you're like now addicted to ping pong. It's so fucking crazy.
I got a homie. His name Rory. He's addicted to betting, but he be winning. But I knew it got real bad because first of all, you can't bet in Florida, so you had to do some crazy shit to even bet down here. That's one thing. And then it was around the pandemic, and you know it was barely any sports.
Yeah,
but he was betting like on Japanese football, and I was like, man, you gotta call that number, man. It's like you're a little too addicted.
Yeah.
But he was winning, so I couldn't really say much. But I was like, man, this is crazy. You're watching.
That is funny.
You're waking up at 4:00 in the morning watching Japanese football.
Yeah, that shit's funny, bro. But no, you got anything else, Joey?
No, man. I just want to say thank you for coming on. It's been a great conversation,
dude. Yeah, I'm really glad we were able to make this happen, bro. Yeah. I just like all I gotta say is I just salute you with your show and everything that you're doing, bro. And you really are the blueprint for this shit. You know what I mean? And as we've grown and met so many other different kinds of podcasters, it was like so difficult to find like another podcaster in the city that like just had like a similar vision to us, bro. You know what I mean? Where they just want more for their show and they're constantly evolving. And you know, for a while, me and Joey, like I remember even when we hit like our episode 100 mark, we felt like we really were like doing a lot of things right. But then you come across and you look at some of these other shows and you're like, it just sparks a new like set of ideas for you, bro. You know what I mean? I think after seeing you guys do some of your vlogs, it made me and Joey, I was like, you know what, dude, like we should start vlogging whenever we go to a new city and interview someone or doing like whatever. And so, dude, I just appreciate you fucking just being the blueprint and putting out this great content, man. Because
I appreciate that.
If at the very least, it's just fun to listen to on my way to work sometimes, bro. Like you and shout out Devin and shout out Joe. Like you guys are all a great fucking like couple of co-hosts that, I mean, y'all really just do your shit right, bro.
Yeah. Well, we grew up together. We went to high school together, so we've known each other in our mid-30s. So we've known each other like 20 years. So that adds to it.
Yeah.
Because like even if we don't, let's say we stop podcasting, we still gonna be friends. We were friends before the podcast,
for sure,
and we friends now. I ain't gonna say after because I want to keep this shit going, but
yeah.
So that adds to the dynamic of the show.
Keep doing your thing. What's when you hit episode 1,000? What are you gonna do?
I'm keeping on. Like we're talking about Joe Rogan.
Are you gonna do the 1,000 episode a little crazy? Because I mean, bro, that's not that far away. Like you guys are almost at episode 600. Like you gotta start thinking about that plan for episode 1,000. You gotta do something fucking wild.
Yeah, I don't want to, cause like let's say that's like 4 years ago probably. We got 400 episodes.
True. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how the landscape.
No, that's true. Yeah.
It might be like Mad Max or something like that. I don't know how the world's going to be.
True. Yeah. That's true. No, you guys are crushing it, bro. Keep up the fucking like good work with everything you guys are doing, man. Cause
same, likewise, man. And I'll just say this, man. Like, of course, I watch y'all show and whatnot. When you hit me up, I'm like, damn, why the fuck this didn't happen before?
Trust me, 100%.
The amount of times I've heard him talk about you.
Yeah,
like, I can't believe it's taken this long.
Yeah, because I was like, I always tell him whenever I'm coming up with like new ideas for the podcast or whatever,
It's
I'm
always
like,
RAOP.
I'm like, they just have like y'all structure, bro. It's the structure. It's like one of those things where I don't just watch your guys' page to like take notes and like try to like, you know, see what we can do better with our show. But I watch it because I fucking enjoy it. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, I'm surprised it took us this long too, man.
Somebody had came up to our studio like, why you work OG session yet? And I was like, I'd love to. It just
that hasn't happened.
It's just not the right time.
Bro, to be 100% honest, like we mentioned earlier in the episode, I'm so busy with things that I'm just trying to keep this show running sometimes. I don't even think to reach out to this person and be like, oh, this would be a good collab. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so, dude, I mean, I'm glad we made it happen. I think God's timing, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
But bro, I fucking appreciate you. All the OGs that are listening to this podcast right now, if you guys want more of that bonus content, you guys already know where to go. That's patreon.com/OG Sessions. Choose a membership that's right for you. Let's get this motherfucker cooking. If you guys want to follow us on social media, Instagram and X is going to be OG Sessions Pod, and then TikTok is OG Sessions. And I guess we're going to be on Facebook soon, boys.
Yes, sir.
Y'all better get ready for that Facebook page. It's Snapchat. We're going to start dropping that shit for you guys next episode. And then, if you guys want that merch, ooh, Joey ain't wearing a lot of merch today, boy. But I'll tell you what, if you guys want to look as fly as Joey's typically looks,
I got the merch on.
I got some merch on right now. I got in the hat too. We might have to bring back that like OG hat. That's like the old school off grid.
You ain't gonna see this on the website.
Yeah, but hey, we might have to bring it back, brother. You never know. But that's going to be ogsessions.com. You guys go on there. We've got a full winter line. We've got some summer stuff on there for you guys. And me and Joe have actually been cooking up a little something spicy that we might want to start dropping here soon. So we'll hint the details of that next week. But nonetheless, shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us. We fucking love you guys. Amp, shout out to you one more time, man. For
plug them in,
show. Yeah, where can they find RAOP? Where can they follow you? The whole nine.
Hit that Google machine, Random Acts of Podcast. And if you put RAO Podcast on everything, it will pop up, man. So
hell yeah.
Much. The patreon.com/RAO Podcast. You want to see some wild shit, go ahead and join that, man.
Yeah, well, I'm about to go join that bitch right after we finish recording this.
Trust me, if you join it, you won't, it was not a dull moment on there.
Yeah,
we done had the Patreon about like 3 or 4 years.
How many Patreon members you got?
I think we like close to 500.
Oh my God, bro. Okay.
Good shit.
That is fire. Yeah.
No more.
No, for real. That's fucking dope, bro. What's the price point? Like, what do you guys have your tiers set it at?
We got the one. You don't get not one. It's just like, just give me $1, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We got the 1. We got the 3. If you get the 3, you get the, like I was saying about the 200. You get the first 200. I think it's called like the old days tier. 5 is where you get the episode early. 10, you get it early. You get the video early also, and then like sometimes we'll do like some exclusive shit. Some of the shit we do with the porn stars. Sometimes the porn stars like to show off their goods, so you get that at 10. We got the 25, the 50, and 100.
Damn,
100 is fire. We might have to add 100 tier.
Just put it in there.
Just put it in there just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Do you have anyone that does 100 tier?
Not right now, but we've had it. Like sometimes it'd be some moments where like, damn man, I'm kind of fucked up, man. I need $100, and somebody joined the $100 tier randomly. They don't really keep it, but like shit.
No, dude, $100 for 1 month is fucking sick, bro.
Yeah, they don't keep it, but like we got some people on the 50 that keep it consistently. We got people that's on the $25 adds up like a motherfucker.
Oh, bro.
We got a bunch of people on the $25 tier. Like, that shit adds up.
Oh, 100%, bro. You guys are structuring your show really well, man, and I'm just salute you and just can't wait to see everything you guys accomplish, bro.
Definitely.
So shout out to you, bro. Can't wait to work with you in the future. And OGs, we'll see y'all next week, baby.
Yes, sir.
This is the OG Sessions Podcast, episode 122, boys. We are out.
Peace.